back when I was this high. My father told me that I shouldn't cry, but this fight, whoever holds me back, and I should fly to the sky till it turns black. But I don't think I got it, just look at where I'm at. I've been down these streets way too many times, and I got receipts and way too many fines. But I got no leads on how to live this life now. And I got no kids, all I got is bars. Yeah. But not the bars that you're thinking of now, but the bars that define me. Yeah, it's not the bars that you're thinking of now, it's the bars that surround me. And look, I can't complain cause the pain is the same. Shifting blame ain't gonna help me stay sane. I'm shook cause I can play this whole game where I aim to get paid but stay in the same lane. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Yeah. Ooh, things will get brighter, but somehow they never do. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Yeah. Ooh, things will get brighter, but somehow they never do.
I've been through mad different phases and mazes to find my way, but think the hardest part's admitting that I'm not okay. I poured my heart in this music, said all I had to say, and now I'm finished venting, so what I'm left with is time to waste. I got this gift from my dad, sometimes it's more a curse. Started about a year before he died, he heard my first verse. 14, lost and broken, I couldn't shed the hurt, till I let it spill through this pen and let this music cure. There's no solace in closed eyelids, I only think about it once in a while, I let it go, honest. Had to rewind it, to be reminded that every time I throw this words at this mic, I got my dad smiling. He see me shining, I'm doing well. In all these times that I was ready to quit and didn't, he's proud as hell. If he was here, he would tell me it's gonna get easier. And even if I knew he was lying, I know I'd never tell. Yeah.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Yeah. Ooh, things will get brighter, but somehow they never do. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Yeah. Ooh, things will get brighter. Yeah. But somehow they never do. And I can still hear his echo coming from the meadows. You ain't gonna find no diamonds in the ghetto. Son, you gotta get though. For that you gotta let go. And you gotta let them hear your roar and your bellow. And that was tried and true. And if I only knew that I was a fool, that he tried to school and he tried to fuel and prepare for the cruel, cold and barren world. He gave me a jewel just for me to toss it like a fucking tool. And if it's not about how many times you fall, but how many times you stand up, bro, yo, I did that. Cause I've been hitting almost every single hole, and I guess I gotta man up, but no joke, I'm banged up. Raised in a land of goats and shadows, wars and gallows. Time stopped, but I keep moving on. But I'm not a fan of guns that rattle. I got my own battles, and I gotta keep on keeping on. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Yeah. Ooh, things will get brighter, but somehow they never do. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Yeah. Ooh, things will get brighter, but somehow they never do.
Hello and welcome. What's up, Scarred?
Hey, how you doing, Grumpy?
I'm doing fine. How about you? What you doing? I didn't stream in a while, so it's awkward for me a bit now.
Weren't you always awkward to begin with?
I mean, yeah. You know me so well.
No, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Enjoying my my weekend off. I finally got a few days back, so off of work. So doing good.
Nice. I'm just trying to read the chat. I'm completely like I forgot how to do this, honestly. I didn't stream in like what, 6 months now? Something like that. I think it's like been at least 5 months.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's just so weird. So basically, we have good to see you too, Ken. Good to see you guys in the chat. We have gathered here today because our friend Starr Streams needs your help. And I wouldn't stream, and I guess Scar wouldn't really do a Star Citizen stream the way he's feeling in the past couple of months if we did not have like this situation happen. So I'm just gonna play the video, and let me just find the scene. There we go. So you see what's happening. Oh my god, my face is huge. All right, so this is what Starr Streams posted on his channel.
Hello, my name is Michael, and I need your help. My life collapsed. I lost a relationship. I lost my business. I ended up here, but before here, I hit rock bottom, had a nervous breakdown, was in hospital, then was living in my car. It's been really hard. And then I found myself here in a shelter, homeless shelter. I wasn't allowed to leave the grounds. It was like a prison. It's like a prison here. I have no independence. I couldn't see my daughter. And that's been probably the hardest part, and I've struggled a lot with my mental health as well. I tried to take my own life and failed, obviously.
Good thing you
and
did.
Now,
Yeah.
while struggling with different things, there is a little bit of hope for me because I've managed to get myself a flat. A small but perfectly formed flat. But I need your help because I don't have a lot in terms of savings. And I need to get some things like a bed. And I just need a bit of help really for that to happen. So I've created a page.
Hardest thing to do is ask for help.
Yep.
Oh, this is so... Please do consider donating whatever you can. If you can't, that's okay. I forgot to mention that it's a GoFundMe page, so please link somewhere. GoFundMe, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So,
Oh, I hit the stop button, it didn't stop.
to me, Starr Streams is like one of the nicest people that I've met, and like one of the most positive people that I met in the Star Citizen community.
I would have to agree. If honestly, if I didn't find Starr Streams, there would be no Scarred to the amount that there is a Scarred now, and I owe Starr a lot of gratitude for that.
Yeah, and he was one of the best things that I had. Like we played Star Citizen, the two of us together, and Starr Streams and I, we played Star Citizen, DayZ, etc., etc. But like one of the best streams that I had ever was when he like organized the GeoGuessr event, and it was
That was a
like,
good one.
dude, we were laughing so hard, and he was the nicest guy ever. So anyway, this is the just so you know, guys, in the chat, this is his GoFundMe page. It's linked. It should be linked down in the description of the stream. Please do not send money to me and like through YouTube, because if you send it to me, YouTube is gonna take 30%, then my country is gonna take 20%, etc., etc., etc. So in the end, by the time it gets to him, it's gonna be like if you send me $100, he's gonna get 20, right? So please just go straight to his GoFundMe and just donate if you want to, of course. But we're gonna try and keep it light here and try not to talk about that like way too much, because it's a really hard thing. I've been there, not in the way that he was, but I had some like similar fucking issues in my life that brought me to like wanted to like, I can't even fucking say it at YouTube, right? Because the stream might get canceled. So yeah, I can relate, is what I'm saying. So
Yep.
I think it's best not to talk about it. I think it's just best to like help him out as much as we can. And as I said, is the link, Scar, because you can see the stream right now. Is the link in the description? It should be.
Yeah, it's in the description. I threw one up in chat as well, just
All right,
to
let me see if I can
cover all the bases.
Oh, I'll where is it? Where's the chat one that you posted? I don't see it.
It's in chat.
It's not on my chat. I don't see it.
Really?
That's weird. Yeah. I'll
Maybe
just
you have
post
to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you have to do it.
Right.
But yeah, the hardest thing with this is asking for help, and he was able to get through that and ask for help. So, you know, help a brother out.
Yeah. So it's gonna stay as a pin message. So if you want to help him out, the link is right there.
Yeah. Yep. We all have our downs, and we all gotta reach out for that hand up. So, you know.
Yeah, honestly,
I don't
the
really
first
know what
time
to
that I
say.
watched that I watched the video, I was just like very, like I was holding it right now. But anyway, let's just steer off of that for a bit and talk about like some better things, such as Star Citizen, because everybody wants to watch it because of Star Citizen, even though we don't really play Star Citizen that much. Did you buy the Ironclad, the Bumbleclad?
No, that's a little too rich for my blood.
Is it though?
I mean,
I've heard that
could
you had the best
I?
ship in Eve. I heard it.
You heard that?
Yeah.
I mean, eBay helped me get that, but
Mm.
yeah, no, it like I said, it's a little too rich for my blood. If others want to buy it, go ahead, buy it. It does look cool. Looks like it would be the perfect pyro ship, but yeah,
Pyro?
it's
You mean
pyro
pirate?
pirate. I mean, that too, that
Yeah.
too. I mean, it
It
looks
it
awesome.
has like fuck you weapons on it, right? The assault one.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it does. Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
It has like 2 size 5s, right? And then a bunch of like size 4s and size 3s. It's amazing.
Yes, look, it's a pirate's wet dream. It really is. And I want it. I just a little too rich for me.
Honestly, for me, this is the first time that they made, well, okay, not counting the Caterpillar itself, but one of the first spaceships that looks like a fucking spaceship, right? Like the
Yes.
design, the exterior, the interior. We're gonna watch the video and we're gonna like debate about it and all that. But I was surprised. I was like, dude, like, why did I retire? I really want this ship. So anyway, speaking of retirement, you wanna like share your thoughts on like the current state of Star Citizen and like what you think about it?
Okay, so this is just my opinion. I am not very interested in Star Citizen at the moment, and it's not because it's the worst game ever made. It's just for me, I've kind of been there, done it all, seen it all, and there's not much left for me. Now, master modes, it's a controversial thing, and I'm still trying to get in and learn it a little bit. But
Mhm.
the game does look prettier. I'll give it that. It does look a lot prettier with like the upscaling and the Vulcan and all of that
Yeah,
stuff.
and the Moby Glass changes and all of that. Although
Yeah.
they have a bunch of like, they reuse the same like, what was it? It's not the contracts. It's the fleet manager and
Yes.
a couple of more things in the Moby Glass are just still the same and done in Flash, and they're just like, ugh, they're ugly and they're like so awful to use. Like it's just an awful experience.
Star map
Especially,
looks pretty.
yeah, the star map looks pretty. It works nice. Um, although the same like underlying bugs are still there. So like if you're a Daymar, you cannot jump from Daymar. You gotta go to the OM marker first, or you gotta
Yeah.
like mark where you want to go on the star map. So it's not because the star map is just like a thing with Daymar, I guess. But
I,
yeah, don't hold back, Scards. Tell us how much Master Modes is hot garbage. I have my take on that, and we'll talk about it in a second. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I just don't like it. I really don't like it. Now, granted, most of my experience with master modes has been in AC and not in the PU, but there was a lot of things that I saw transfer over from the AC version over to the PU.
Yeah.
I may not play very much, but I do watch lots and lots and lots of other streamers play it, and some of the stuff I see in there just makes me as far as master modes is
So
concerned.
for me, I think like it's a real issue that they tested the Master Modes in the Arena Commander, because that was the only like environment where you could like actually play. So in PU we have huge areas that we gotta cross to get into a fight and all that, and we gotta like cycle Master Modes over and over again. And for some ships, the time is way too, like the cycle time when you go from one master mode to the other is way too low, and for some other ships, it's way too high. So, as an example, if you want to engage into a fight, like the best way to do it is to like go fast as fast as possible in nav mode and just like break, like go into what is it, SEM mode, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like if you look at the G counter, it's gonna be like 80 Gs. You're gonna pull 80 Gs just to stop, and like it's stupid. Honestly, it's stupid. And like a new meta has appeared with that thing, because like people are just gonna engage and disengage like they did before. But like I said that that's gonna happen fucking ages ago. When we first saw Master Modes in one of the ISCs, or was it like, I don't know, maybe it was Sitcon or whatever. But yeah, like it was bound to happen, and now it needs to change. And for me, the flight experience is good. It's cinematic. It's more fun. It's not as skill based, but there is a solution to it. But it like requires more systems to come online in the game and all of that, which well, you know,
Soon TM.
soon TM. Yeah, so as an example, I like how ships handle, but I don't like that it's still like face tanking. So if there was something to make us position on top of each other, that would be great. So my idea, it's not even my idea, it's Hyba from Liberty Reapers that had this idea, was to have like front armor be basically impenetrable. So you basically gotta position yourself above the ship, or find the weak spots on the ship so you can destroy it. So
Right.
with that, it will be like an amazing game of like, well, cat and mouse to a degree, right? Because one guy would be offensive, the other guy would be defensive, and then you like see that he made a mistake, so you're like on him now, and etc. etc. And like the time to kill right now is just like it's bullshit. It takes you with the cannons, it takes you fucking 5 seconds to die or to kill somebody. And like you spent an hour setting up, going there, and then you just get like 2 shot, and like the fuck.
Yeah, the cannons are definitely the meta right now, especially the M cannons. Everybody I see is running them. They're all running the M cannons. Nobody's running ballistics anymore. Nobody's running repeaters anymore.
Well, I'm running ballistics. I think the best way to use like what we have right now is to have like a combined thing, because like if you use ballistics, as an example, you have the new Hornet, so you have 3 size 4s and 2 size 3s, which is crazy on the new Hornet. So I would use 3 size 4 ADBs for the ammo and for the damage, and then the 2 size 3s would be like the cannons, and you're gonna have more ammo on the cannons then.
Right.
That's how I see it, at least.
That's actually not a bad idea. I just don't have one of those new Hornets yet.
Yeah, well, do you wanna spend, what is it, 175 for the civilian one?
Yeah. No, thanks.
Did you do the overdrive event?
Truthfully, I have played approximately, I think now 6 hours in the last 3-4 months playing Star Citizen. I just, for me, the overdrive event, it looks fun. Some of the missions look cool. They did a good job with a lot of those missions. I just didn't really want to participate.
Yeah. Well, I did it with the master modes, and honestly, it was so fucking awful. It was the worst experience that I had. So there's Overdrive Initiative Incursion, or whatever it's called. You have like 5 missions where you basically gotta go and kill a bunch of like 24 ships, which wouldn't be an issue in the like before the master modes, and now because you can't really accelerate, you can't really like disengage that fast. And another issue is that the hammerheads are fucking as fast as your like little puny spaceship, like your fighter. You're just gonna get decimated. Like they buffed the AI, they gave the hammerheads basically the same acceleration and the speeds as your like standard whatever, like Sentinel or Ion, Inferno, whatever. And then you just have like, what is it, 6 times 4 times 4s, right?
Yeah.
You have fucking 300 weapons shooting at you, like size 4 weapons shooting at you, and they just beam you down in like less than a second. So it was a painful experience because I did it solo. Later on, I had a couple of friends. I think you helped me. No, you didn't. Your sticks weren't working. Yeah. Yeah, I had, a couple of people helped me out with the other bunker missions, which were fun, but honestly, again, like bunkers, dude, I don't want to go in there anymore, ever.
I mean, don't you have them memorized by now? There's only 2 layouts.
I haven't memorized, and that's why I don't want to go there anymore. Like, I'm fucking sick and tired of it.
Yeah, they need to update those. I mean, it's nice that we got distribution centers in, but the bunkers need a lot of love, like badly.
Yeah,
very badly.
Yeah. But
soon.
Other than that,
soon TM, right?
Soon, yeah. We tried engineering yesterday. You were not there. You were fiddling with your sticks, giggity.
Yes.
but engineering seems really promising. We tried everything. We tried to ram the C2. It got rammed like at least 14 times by an Inferno and 4 times by another C2, or was it an A2? It doesn't matter. And it just wouldn't die. Everything on the ship would die, but the ship wouldn't explode, and I loved it. I loved every bit of it because it like opens up so much gameplay for like us, the pirates, for like our kind of gameplay, right?
Yeah, because it'll be easier to disable a ship now instead of having to soft death it all the time. And I don't mean through distortions or anything like that, but hitting components and knocking out the ship that way. So it'll be nice, and it'll also, and I'm hoping that on the flip side of that, the people that are defending, because now you have people possibly being in a turret and now running down to engineering to fix what they need to fix. Maybe more people will be armed and ready. So if we do get in, we can have an engaging battle inside of a ship. That would be a lot of fun.
That would be fun. Especially in ships like the Reclaimer or well, in any ship except the C2. C2 is just like boring, dude.
Yeah, and honestly, to any of you guys out there that do salvage in a Reclaimer, and if somebody gets you, there's so many little hidey holes in the Reclaimer. Fight back, guys. Fight back.
Yeah.
Just hang out somewhere, wait for them to come by you, and take them out. There's so many hidey holes in a Reclaimer. I wish it's scary going in those things. It's just my experience for the most part is that nobody actually shoots at us. So, you know. But yeah,
Oh, can I edit YouTube? Not the thumbnail, but like the thing, the title
thing?
right now.
Yeah, you can do that.
I
You go
completely
into
forgot that
studio.
I did not featuring Starr Citizen. There we go.
Oh, it's not that big of a deal.
It is. Shut the fuck
I'm
up.
just some loser from Starr Citizen. That's
Shut
all.
up. Shut up. So, just like disregards everything that Stream Element says. I completely forgot to fucking kill it. Because yeah, this is a charity stream. If you just joined, this is should I call it charity? I guess it is charity. I don't fucking know. I don't know English that well. Scarred.
Charity, helping hand, donation.
Helping hand, stream donation. Just check the link. Starr Streams is in dire need of help. So if you just joined, either rewind because I think I should be only streaming on YouTube and not on Twitch. But yeah, just rewind to the start and you'll see what we're talking about. But yeah, Starr Streams needs some help. So if you can help him, just please do.
Yes.
Anyway, you want to watch some videos?
Yeah.
Or did you want to say something else about Starr Citizen? You want to shit on it a bit more? I'm completely fine with it.
No, I'm not. I won't shit on Starr Citizen. Right. I won't.
Right. How's that content creator program going for you?
It's fantastic. I wake up every morning and I run to the mailbox waiting for my letter to get here.
Right.
I mean email box.
Right?
My email box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So content creator program. Some people are in it. CG is still like saying that there is no content creator program, but we do know that some people are in it. Some much smaller channels, and like I don't have a problem with them being inside, but like why am I not in? Why is Card not in? I don't think that Ray's Guide is also in. Cameroll is not in. So
No.
yeah.
No.
Fun.
There's like full disclosure, if there was a content creator program, there are so many channels that deserve to be in there that are probably not. And CIG, you need to take a long look.
I mean, there is, because like you saw that Borg Gamer said that F7C is retiring, the Mark 1 is retiring before CIG even said anything, because he got it in the email, right?
Yes.
Because people are getting emails now and then free ships and all of that, which is fucking crazy. And people that like did so much for the community and all of that, like even though I'm negative and I'm critiquing and as well as Cards, like we are contributing to the community and like making new people play. Like I have 1,222 referrals. Like that's just the people that bought the game through my accounts, through my referral code. So yeah, that's like $50,000 or even more, at least $50,000 that I made for CAG. But sure, don't get me into the content creator program. That's fine. Anyway, do you want to watch the Ironclad is rad video, or do you want to just debate? what we.
I mean,
saw.
we can watch it and debate it. Honestly, I didn't even watch it. It came out while I was at work, and I haven't had a chance to actually watch it. I've seen the pictures and stuff, but I haven't actually seen it.
All right. So I do not have YouTube Premium anymore. So if you see a commercial, sorry.
It's part 2 of our Invictus Launch Week coverage as we look beyond the event to the new offering being unveiled at this year's Drake DefenseCon. The far superior brand excluded from the usual Invictus
Or am I
festivities
just that far behind?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
because it's
Okay,
too
I'm just
damn
that
cool.
far behind.
I said it, and I'm tired of pretending it's not true. Drake for life.
These sentiments were recorded in April before that rap beef stuff, and Disco would like it known that K-Dot is king. Hashtag.
I found this really funny. I don't know about you. I don't know if you followed what happened, but
No,
I
I
saw that
didn't
like
see what
most of the
happened.
community was super confused with like what they just said here. Drake and Kendrick were beefing. They were having like some songs.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay,
Right.
okay. That
also,
makes.
that David is the best. Woohoo! Now we resume the program.
Let's force John Crew to talk about it now.
So in the Star Citizen universe, we have a lot of cargo ships, but they're sort of concentrated around the lower end of cargo hauling, sort of the low hundreds, SCU and below, and the very high end where there's multi-thousands. There's a mix of cargo ships.
Should we just stop it here? I mean, I already did. So thousands. He's talking about the Hull C. How the fuck is the Hull C gonna do anything? Because like it doesn't fucking work. It doesn't dock to a station properly anymore. Or did it ever? I think in the first patch it did.
I think in the first patch it did. I would have to ask Pagan. He's the only guy I know that has a Hull C.
I do too.
The,
But I don't want to.
really?
I don't even fucking want to try it. Yeah.
the last time I saw him do it, he couldn't dock.
Yeah.
He pulled in and he couldn't dock, and I think it impounded his ship, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. Also, look
So-
at the sweet wheel legs here.
I
Where do
know,
you buy
right?
those? Yeah.
There's a mix
I want
of,
some.
Dude, the Hull C is the best piracy ship, dude. Right?
Uh,
Because you have four. You've never been in. Have you been inside?
Yes, I've been inside.
So
I would sneak into their bathrooms away from them to take off, and then I'd kill
okay.
them and fly the ship for a while.
So you have like four tractor beams on the operator seat upstairs, and there you have like a 360 view. So
Mhm.
basically, like what when we used to like pirates reclaimers, it would be
Mhm.
super easy to use those tractor beams and just stick everything to the Hull C and just run.
Oh, that would be
Easy,
yeah, that would
easier
be
than the
pretty sweet.
Caterpillar or the C2, yeah.
Yeah, that would
cargo
be
ships
pretty
just
cool.
have their
But
cargo.
like you can't land it anywhere. You can't like dock to most of the stations. So like yeah.
on the inside, one's on the outside, like the whole series. And
Wait, Hull C works fine. I've been using it 4 or 5 days now. The initial spawning of it is a pain, but after that it's fine. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to try it. I'm just scared.
we really wanted to bring something
Moon's
different
confirming
where
that as well.
it sort of
Yeah.
sits right in the middle. It's a nice progression step and facilitates both internal and external loading of cargo, which is where
What
the
about
Drake
the
Ironclad
Connies?
comes.
Oh, the Connies.
Yeah,
You can
kind of
find
like
it-
skip
Oh
over
yeah,
those.
fucking
Laugh at everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Connies. Well, they have 96 SUs and 172, right? On the Taurus. Yeah.
Yeah. Jim brings up a good point. How would we sell it, Graham?
Well, we wouldn't sell it at the Grim. We would sell
We
it
could go
somewhere
to-
else.
Yeah, CRUL5 and what?
You can't Zog though. Yeah. Yeah. There's no docking station. There's no like cargo unloading over there. You only have like Seraphim and a couple of more stations, and that's it.
Huh.
So the Drake Ironclad is the kind of next step up for Drake cargo ships. It kind of builds on what the Caterpillar brings, but
Use the Brave browser. Don't have ads on YouTube. I will, but I just don't want to download it now. And
in a much larger form.
The Drake Ironclad is a 6-person multi-crew armored freighter. A large proportion of the ship is dedicated to the cargo bay at the front of it. which has both a front ramp for loading and unloading cargo and small vehicles on the ground, as well as a retractable roof for doing that in space with EVA as well.
The retractable roof is badass.
Yeah. And honestly, this is one of the best designs that they ever had of a ship, from my point of view.
Every ship needs a sunroof now.
Sunroof. The only question is, can you land the ship inside, and will it like stick to it?
One would hope. I would love to put like. I mean, look, it's been a dream ever since they announced the Fury.
Mm-hmm.
To use certain ships as like mini carriers, and I think this one would be really good at it if it'll stick to it.
I don't know, but I checked on Fleet Viewer, and I checked the size of the Nova Tonk, and compared it to like other ships, like smaller ships, and the Nova is larger than the Aurora. And it's basically the same size as the Scorpius when its wings are folded.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that you can land it inside, but will it like stick? Will it just stay there or not? I guess we'll see in like 10 years from now when they release it.
I don't know. I saw this. And I immediately said, I want one. I mean, to be honest, I want a Kraken. What I would do with it, I have no idea. I mean, obviously run pirate ops out of it, but like, I think that this is like a nice in between, like a Corsair and a Kraken. It's like right in the middle, and it's beautiful.
It is beautiful, and also this like with the catwalk here and the loading bay and all of that. It reminds me of Firefly.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
The
Yeah.
tight
I love
entrances
it.
to cargo ships doesn't necessarily lend
Also, by the way, did you notice the what are these called? Like, it's not even a catwalk; it's like a railing,
Oh, that's cool. I didn't notice
like
that there.
ladders on the side that
Oh,
you
so
can
you-
like use to EVA. I guess I don't know.
Wait, did they talk to the architect and he finally got his stairs and ladders?
I don't know, but you do have some catwalks on the side, on the left side, which I appreciate very much.
You know,
In
it
space.
looks awesome. It's a great looking
EVA
ship.
as well.
little tight
Agreed.
entrances to cargo ships doesn't necessarily lend itself to when you're out in deep space and you're trying to quickly move some cargo from one person's ship into your ship. Really, you want as much kind of access to be able to do that as you possibly can. So by having this kind of much larger opening on top of the ship, it allows us to kind of bring cargo in much easier.
So its role being a sort of armored freighter comes
That's
from two
huge.
distinct ways.
It is.
One, the cargo itself is more protected. It's within the cargo bay that has the armored roof
It should be the same size as whatchamacallit, the Carrack.
section that covers it. So unlike, say, a hull C where the cargo's on the outside, you can load it from the outside but then protect it with the Ironclad.
It is also more heavily armored than the Caterpillar, so it kind of gives a little bit more security to your kind of precious cargo.
The exterior is very classic Drake brutish styling, a whole lot of engines and a lot of framework and quite thin structural elements.
I love the engines in the back.
Yes, they scream Carillion Corvette from Star Wars, and I love
Right?
it.
Right? And
I
like
love it.
the issue is it's gonna go like 150 SCM.
Elements support the rest of the ship.
And like in atmosphere it's gonna go like 50.
Very bare bones styling. It doesn't have lots of nice padding. It's all there and exposed. And it's really just sort of rugged and to the point. So the Ironclad is really three distinct areas. You have all the accommodation in the rear sort of third.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm looking at this thing, and it looks scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't mind the fact that it holds cargo. It looks scary. Like, even if there was 2 or 3 or 4 light to medium fighters, I don't know if this thing was fully crewed, I would want to go toe to toe with it.
Yeah. Like, remember when I said this way too many times, that I just want an Argo cargo gunship, like a fucking box, like a cube with fuck you weapons on it, that is just like scary and like disturbing to a degree. This is basically it.
Of the ship.
Like, this is insulting, basically.
The front 2/3 is really just this cargo bay with the front entrance and the retractable roof.
Dude, it looks like you could fit 2 or 3 Pisces in there.
And then you
yeah, I mean, on the picture you can land, but and you can see that there's like a lot of space for like a larger ship to land inside.
Yeah.
have the command module, which has seats for the crew plus a few little jump seats for everyone else. Command module is there to steer the ship when it's attached, and the command module serves as the escape pod as well. The only time you really want to detach it is in an emergency. It's not designed to be your sort of primary ship flying around.
Yeah,
It kind of gives you a little bit of a get out of jail free card if you're transporting
not.
stuff
Dude, the design is fucking amazing.
that is quite valuable.
I don't get the
Oh, man.
wings, and it would be so funny if you like cut his wings off and it just goes into a flat
spiraling.
All quite sought after in maybe some of our less desirable systems. What it allows you to do is kind of have a little bit of security. So if you're getting attacked or you're getting yourself into trouble, if you want to save yourself, you can kind of jettison your cargo and try and get out of dodge and kind of get out to safety. And I think that's like a really important thing as we get closer to Death of a Spaceman.
With some of the recent tech that's come online, this brought us one step closer to implementing command modules properly. So not only will you see this detachable command module feature on the Ironclad, but as well it will happen on the Caterpillar.
Interior.
Speaking of the Caterpillar, it's also supposed to be modular. So now that they have modules for the whatchamacallit.
Brian in chat just brought something up. He was saying if he could fit a Zeus on it, he'd be drooling. I'm looking at that thing and imagine parking a Mantis in that and having somebody operating the QED.
That's why I'm waiting for the Polaris, because they have the Polaris, and we just need a guy in a Mantis inside, and he's good. Nobody's going. You know when you get interdicted and you just shoot a Mantis and you run, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're not gonna shoot the Mantis.
Yeah.
unless they make it so like when you're landed you can't use the QED, which would be BS, but then again, like, it would be a balancing thing, so I get it.
Right.
But,
Interior-wise, you've kind of got 2 entrances onto the ship. You can
no, not a Redeemer, the Retaliator. So they did the that's what I was talking about. The modularity. They found a way to implement it into this game. So Retaliator is now modular. It only has 2 modules, which is a bit and whatever. But since we have that, like back in 2014 or 15, they showed the Caterpillar modules. You had like hab modules. You had like docking module, which is basically, which I loved, making your Caterpillar into like a small station, and you have like 4 or 3 docking ports on the side, and you have like science modules, barracks, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
So that's needed. Like the Caterpillar was never supposed to be just like a cargo ship.
either
It was like the Drake sensor to the Carrack.
enter via the command module, and that takes you straight into a kind of corridor section. It's kind of like almost like a mezzanine. You can either go up to the habitation area, which is top floor of the ship, gives you like super nice views out both the kind of cargo out the front and the rear of the ship, or you can kind of come down the ship into the main habitation area. Alternatively, you can enter through the dock and collar airlock, that's just on the opposite side of the ship.
You know what the issue with this is? That a bunch of people are gonna say that this is like white box complete, which is not.
Yeah.
Like it even says that it's a concept mesh.
Yeah. Reading is hard for some folks.
Also, knowing the difference.
Yes, I don't foresee this being done anytime soon. I'm thinking it's going to be quite a few years down the road before we see this. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
although I want it now. I do. I want it right now.
Yeah. Well, so I want it also right now, but there is a thing that might be helpful, and that's that they already have all of these assets from the Caterpillar and from the Corsair. because they really pushed the Corsair. It got released in like 1.5 years since they announced it, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. Because I know that that was the first and only. I started the YouTube channel and it had like 500 subs, and I was like, I saw they just announced the Corsair, and I was like, yeah, I want this ship. Like this is the ship that I want, and that was the first ship that I bought outside of the like original starter pack that I had, and it got like made like super fast in COG terms, and they made a bunch of like assets for it, and they were like, yeah, now we have a bunch of assets for like Drake ships. So I'm hoping that it's gonna be easier for them, because like we already have these doors, we already have a bunch of this shit.
My initial thought when the guys in the Discord were debating whether or not, how long this would get done, I was guessing 2 to 3 years before we see it.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess we'll see. I don't know. Well, again, 2 to 3 years. Did you see the leak from a couple of days ago? With that one guy that left Pipeline?
No. What was that?
So the leak was, let me read it out. He had a mental breakdown. Like it's like an internal thing over there, and they're hitting on each other. But what he said afterwards, when he left, he said, "My final leak is this: Starr Citizen will launch in the next year or two with a severely reduced scope compared to what many are expecting. It will be a minimal viable product with 5 systems, each with single landing zone. If leaks are still correct, this will be paired with 10 to 20 hours of bespoke narrative content and will feature Stanton, Pyro, Castra, Nyx, and Terra." Now, he finished off with like each future system will have a single landing zone to ensure content delivery. I'm just I don't think Terra is gonna come anytime soon. Like that's a hard thing to make.
I mean, look, a lot of people give Star Citizen crap about not being transparent, or they're too transparent. It's never one. It's never in the middle. It's always one or the other. But I've always said this: if they aren't showing you that they're working on it, more than likely they aren't working on it. And if that Pipeline guy is saying in the next year or two it's going to be a minimal viable product, I don't see much more than maybe 3 systems being available by that time.
Yeah, because they were working on Nyx, and like he's talking about Castra and Terra, but we know that like Squadron 42 is featuring Odin. Like it's starting in Odin.
Right. I was going to say probably what you were going to say. Wouldn't Odin be first, since they've already got it mostly laid out?
Yeah. But I mean, whatever. Let's continue with the video. This is like
at the rear of the interior of the ship, we've kind of got the heart of the engines. It's the big kind of engineering area where we've got all of the kind of main functional components needed for moving such a large ship. And then if you kind of come slightly further forward, got we call it the kind of like the command deck. It's not a bridge, you can't fly the ship from it, but it's where you operate the tractor beams. It's where it kind of gives you good views out over the front and into space. You've got the tractor beam turrets, but also, visually you can kind of stand in this area or sit in this area and look out over the front and over the bow of the ship and kind of really see what you're trying to pull in or what you're trying to capture into your cargo hold.
That's cool. That's really cool. And I thought that was the cockpit area until they showed the actual cockpit.
These fucking ads, I swear to God, for these like scam games. Just let us watch another scam game. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't want to pay $5 for a scam game. I want to pay 500 for the whatever Ironclad.
As we come downstairs, we've got a little kind of covered area at the rear of the cargo hold, and that is where you can store a couple of small ground vehicles or some of your equipment for moving vehicles and cargo around. And then you're into the main cargo hold of the ship, and this takes up the majority of the interior space, is this large cargo hold. One of the things that we were kind of really keen to do was give lots of different views and different angles down into this cargo hold. Again,
it's huge, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
We're exploring slightly less lawful systems. We wanted to give the players as much opportunities as we can to kind of be safe aboard their own ship. So either side of the cargo hold, we've got these gantries that run completely front to rear on the ship, and they give great view down into your cargo bay. They also give that opportunity of if there's someone tries to board you via the cargo bay, it gives you some nice cover opportunities. And we've also got a few little windows that kind of look down into it as well. As you move to the...
Don't be a cheapskate and get premium then. I do not have premium because I'm not streaming anymore. Like, this is my first stream in the past 5 months. So, yeah, like there's no point for me to do that.
Kind of like the very front, the very nose of the ship. Those
I'm not even making money off this channel
lead into kind of secure cargo area. It's somewhere that's a little bit more difficult to get to when you kind of enter the ship. The big thing we were referencing when we were looking at it was this
play fucking soccer inside of that.
the idea of police evidence rooms. So these kind of individual cages where you could put your most secure cargo, whatever it might be, in this area, and it would make it quite difficult to try and breach in or out of that area. So it gives us just somewhere a little bit more secure for kind of smaller.
So what do you think this is gonna be? Because I don't get this whole part. Like, I think they're holding something from us. That they have some ideas for, like, because if you remember the 600i rework, the Explorer version also had that, like, area that is, like, separated from the cargo hold. That's like a small cargo hold for some things that you want to, like, keep separated. So what do you think this is?
I think it's kind of going to be more of the same, where it's going to be a shielded cargo area, but I would like to see, and I don't think they'll do it with this ship, I would like to see ships closer to this size have a larger shielded area for running illegal goods. I just don't know if that's something that they're going to actually do. There would be, like we've discussed many times, there would have to be a lot more game-ready systems to do things like that, I think, to at least, because there's always got to be a paper to a rock, a scissors to a paper kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would like to see that, but I think there needs to be far more game systems online before we can even discuss something like that. But I think it'll be a shielded cargo area to put some, like, I don't know, small boxes of maize or what's that other stuff? All the good stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, maybe you're gonna, like, hold your supplies there. Like, maybe that's the point of that, or maybe it's like you can use it for holding your supplies, but you can also use it for, like, as a brig.
You could. Yeah, that's cool. So when you are talking about your supplies, are you talking about, like, those 1, 2, and 3 SCU boxes that you can fill with your stuff and just tossing that? Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. I'd be down.
Let's just continue. I have one more thing about this whole area. I'm not sure that, because I never saw a picture of the assault variant that has the top open. I'm scared that it's not going to have an open top.
Access to one of the main turrets and the tractor beam turret.
The biggest attraction for me with it.
This is the first time that we're fucking excited about a ship in Starr Citizen in a while. We are not going to taper our expectations.
It is just the versatility of the cargo space. From a good citizen law
I need more
standpoint, it is a cargo ship, but also that retractable roof and the tractor beams on board it give it some less legal opportunities for perhaps taking other people's cargo ships in space and on the ground. At the time of recording, we're also exploring a more military-themed variant of the Ironclad. Doesn't have the name yet, so we'll just call it the Drake.
Ironclad Assault.
Compared to the base ship, this has been developed to support ground assault operations.
And also, I don't understand why is this yellow. Like, the cargo ship should be yellow and the assault one should be black or whatever.
Black,
yellow is not a
gray.
military color, dude. Like, come on.
That thing looks like the ugly duckling.
Yeah.
It has additional turrets covering the upper and lower surfaces to provide more fire support. And the front section of the cargo area has been redesigned to enable our largest vehicles in-game to be deployed from it, such as the tank. In addition, the cargo bay has been reduced.
Did you notice this, by the way?
What is that?
It's a tank with a turret that like they got took off. So like they're repairing the tank in the back. Yeah.
I have a really big nerd boner right now.
Used in size to facilitate a onboard repair facility. So for those of you who want to have a journey in the cargo profession, traditionally you would start out in something, say like a hull A. The next step up from there really is sort of into Drake Caterpillar territory.
How is the next step from the hull A the Caterpillar? And also,
the
Caterpillar is a completely fucking different kind of a ship with like it's a Carrack.
They all. I don't understand why crew keeps skipping over the constellations. There's like two constellations.
The A1, or C1, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
The new Zeus, the fucking Hull B. Like this has 1,500 SUs. Not this one, but the Ironclad. And the Caterpillar has like 500 something, right?
Yeah.
I forgot.
You're doing
like
roughly 8 to 10 times jump.
20 something, I think.
I'm gonna say 576 from the top of my head, but I'm not sure.
Capacity. From there, the Ironclad sits nicely between those smaller ships and the much larger bulk carriers such as the Hull C, and then ultimately you get to things like the Hull D, E, and Kraken at the end of the cargo career.
You said Kraken.
Yes.
Was that a hint at anything?
It's not a hint at anything, but the making the Ironclad makes the Kraken easier.
So building out the Iron.
Again, marketing. It's gonna make it easier to make the Kraken. Although, do you know that the Kraken exterior is already done? Like it was one of the Invictuses like a couple of years ago. It was just like there on Lorville. It was just sitting there. Did you see that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know. No, I did not.
Yeah, it was like a couple of Invictuses in a row. And then I think they just like got rid of it for some reason. I don't know why. But it was like landed on a pad. And it looked fucking amazing.
Ironclad does, of course, kind of help us with building out the Kraken. I think increasing that visual library of assets that we can pull from and use in a Drake manufacturer at the right scale is super valuable for when we move on to the large ships.
God, I want that thing.
Yeah. It is amazing.
This is the first time I've been excited about a big ship.
Right?
For
Except
me,
the
anyways.
The skin is just like this skin is amazing, but it needs to be on the cargo variant, not on the assault variant.
No, yes, you're right.
Of course, in non-Drake related news, players in this year's event probably noticed the long-awaited RSI Polaris touring around the Stanton system.
Okay.
Well, it's not quite flight ready yet, but we thought we'd ask the guys for a status update all the same and see if we can't get a closer look at the progress being made while we do it.
We really wanted to have some form of the exterior of the Polaris at Invictus launch week.
We wanted to mix up the capital ships on display this year.
Did you? Oh, you didn't see this in real life.
I've seen
huge,
it
dude.
I've seen it on other people's streams, and yes, it is absolutely massive. It's way bigger than I thought it would be.
It is. It is.
It would make perfect sense.
I love it. I loved the exterior. Although it does look a bit bland. I don't know if they need to like add some textures, like some dirt on top of it, or some like scratches and shit, because it just looks like it's
too clean.
It's too clean. Yeah.
Being a big kind of military show, it made perfect sense to be able to kind of show it off in its best light. We've pushed quite hard to get the exterior to a point where we're happy to show it publicly.
This meant we've prioritized doing the exterior over the interior. So the exterior you see is pretty much final
so you
art.
Can sell more.
All it is missing is really the damage setup, as I'm sure people have tried to do. It is currently invulnerable, or hopefully invulnerable in game.
Visually, I think
nobody can even find it. Like nobody found it. Like nobody can find the fleet. We barely found the Idris that was parked on Beijini Point. And it wasn't like there were supposed to be tours inside the Idris, so we were waiting there for like an hour and a half or whatever, and it never happened. So we just like went in through the MPUV bay on the bottom, and we took like our own tour.
Not only have we been...
It looks pretty nice inside. Like I said that it's like all corridors, It is Corridor E, but it reminds me of Battlestar Galactica, which I love because it has like those big ass hangars, and for like 3 gladii.
Gladii.
Yeah, it does have some like pretty nice things inside of it that if it's still running, we can hop in later and you can check it out because you have like your sticks working now, I guess.
Trying to get it out so we can show it, but we've also tried to kind of really push the quality of the exteriors of some of our kind of like large capital ships. And what that has meant is that we needed to focus a few more artists than what we'd normally put on the exterior of a ship.
Like I could
just to make sure we kind of hit that quality bar and we get it on time. It's pretty close to being Lot Zero, which means that the majority of the main modeling's done. There's still a whole bunch of decal work, finer details, what we call as POM details, pass needs to be done, and that really kind of helps to elevate the kind of like the close read. I think the distance read and the mid reads are like brilliant, and to be fair, the close read when you get up in personal is looking really, really good. It's just we've still got that kind of like final sprinkle of polish to go on.
With the focus on the exterior and pushing that as far as we could in the time we had, the interior is not quite as far along. It is more around the grey box stage, but the people we'd put on the exterior now will be moving on to the interior.
Normally on a vehicle is we try to kind of keep the development stages in line throughout the...
This, I think, is the medical bay that was not supposed to be inside the Polaris, and then they changed their mind. And now all the capital ships are going to have med beds and like medical bays, which I adore as a decision. You don't like that?
I mean, if it's a capital, yeah, I can get behind that. The only thing that kind of is off-putting, like I see like for you, your counter argument to it, I understand it and I see it, but like I still feel that ships and the new Nursa, like the Cuddy Red and the medical Pisces, should be more of an ambulance runner and not so much of a unit.
Well, you know what? They when they changed it back in 3.14 or 3.15, because like before that the Cuddy could like respawn. You could respawn in the Cuddy, and then they changed it and they said that in the tier 3 or whatever they're calling it now, Bez, you cannot respawn anymore. I was a bit pissed off because not only that a bunch of people bought the Cuddy because of the respawn point, and it's like the smallest and the cheapest respawn point it was at the time. I had an issue with it because like the game is so buggy, the game is so broken, and you're just gonna die and die. Like at least give us a fucking way to respawn now. With like 4.0 and maybe 1.0, like when we get out of the beta or beta 1.0 or whatever, they're going to be fixing the bugs, right? But again, with base rating, you really want to have a couple of spawn points that you can choose from, right?
Yes.
Once we get you played PlanetSide too, right?
Yeah, for a while, yeah.
So you remember the Sunderers, the mobile spawn points.
Vaguely, yeah.
It was like is it Centurion? No, Spartan. The Spartan, Yandel Spartan in the in Star Citizen. So it's basically that size, and it's similar shape, and it's basically like a vehicle that you just like drive to the front line and make another spawn point because you don't want to like run from your base to the other base, so you can like attack it. So. We got to play squad more, but in squads you have. Remember when we played Hell Let Loose a couple of days ago? How one of the teams were spamming the half tracks because you can spawn on the half tracks. So what I think this game is gonna have is that kind of a gameplay with like half tracks or like Cuddy Reds. Maybe not the Pisces, the medical Pisces, and like the Nursa, because they're like way too small and they're like very hard to detect. But it would be nice to have like size 2 ships, so like Cuddy Reds kind of a ship that you can hide somewhere that's going to be like 10 kilometers out or 5 kilometers out when you're raiding a base, and you can just respawn, take your gear, go back there. Because like if you're going to respawn back at base, it's going to take you half an hour or an hour to get back to where you were, and by the time you got there, they're going to rebuild, right?
Right.
So, like from a gameplay perspective, I think this is a good change, right? But it's like the timing is awkward, right? Because it's just marketing, and it's just done to like make more money because I think they're still like 5% off from like last year's income. So
For Invictus or
for Invictus,
on the
yeah,
whole?
I'll check it. I'll check it. But anyway, let me just play the
kind of like the life cycle
video
of its
in the background.
development. It means that the interior isn't, it's not at the same level that the exterior is.
We've been focusing on the core traversal areas of the ship.
The majority of
Does
the
look
rooms
nice.
have now
It
been
does.
worked up. I think there's
It reminds me
maybe
a
2
bit of Death Star.
or 3
because of the
rooms that are
angle
still in
shit.
white box that
Yeah.
still need a decent amount of kind of modeling and
They're 6.9% off from last year,
work doing to them.
just
But
the
rest of the
event or
rooms now-
for the year
Uh,
as a whole?
years as a whole. So
I thought it
it's a
was.
2 game.
I thought it was way higher than that.
No, it's 6.9. Yeah, it's just
Okay.
6.9.
Okay. I guess I
Well,
was
kind of
wrong.
getting to the point where we're pretty close to grey box.
So the bridge, the main corridors, the hab area, the
That one has a
cargo
sunroof
bay,
too.
torpedo rooms, and all the turrets. So
Yeah.
these are a bit further along than some of the more secondary rooms like the brig and the medical bay.
And you can stick
When you think of the Polaris, like its key points are the torpedoes, and I think that's been an area that has needed quite a lot of iteration on, and we're not quite there yet. One of the things that we're kind of really trying to make sure feels good from a player's point of view is the kind of like the loading of the torpedoes and seeing them kind of be from in your cargo hold to being in the kind of like loading mechanism
no.
and then being ready to fire. So on the kind of like lower
So yeah, this is the thing that I fucking hated about it.
I hope they don't do this. Like, I would be fine with somebody having to sit at a console and push a few buttons to load and whatnot, but using a tractor beam to do this is just
A handheld
bananas.
tractor beam, purely because it's just beam. Like it's always gonna be a beam in this game.
deck
I don't
and
like it.
front half of the vehicle, we've got these big torpedo loaders, and that's an area that it's needed quite a lot of iteration to make sure it feels right. And
And like just placing that thing inside is gonna be a pain in the ass.
we are still in that process. It's not kind of fully signed off. We're not completely happy with that area, but it certainly kind of makes up the heart of the ship. Otherwise, on the
It would be
interior,
boring,
the main upper
but
deck
the
is kind of
console
really starting to
where
come
you-
on.
What did you say?
load. It would be boring gameplay, but you can't have, 12 size 9s being fired by the pilot and auto reloading like that. That would just be absolutely god tier.
Yeah.
But sitting at a console and then hitting, reload, tubes 1 through 3 or 1 through 4.
Exactly.
And then once they're in, you have to arm them, and maybe even
Yeah,
you know,
like
later on.
physically come to the torp and just like click a button on it so you can arm the torp. That would be nice.
Yeah, I would be okay with that, but using a handheld tractor beam is just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
The engineering section is another kind of area that I think is really important in our capital ships and kind of getting to a level that we're happy with. From the kind
I
of
really like
concept
it.
into production, we have opened up the bridge of the ship a
It
little
actually
bit.
looks pretty
One of the
nice
things
until you get to this point, and then I just like lost all my interest because like this is honestly I don't like this at all.
we wanted to do was
Doesn't
when you
look right.
kind of enter onto the bridge, this should feel
I mean, it is like a white box, gray box phase, but still, it's just
kind of like super exciting and
The
super
view is nice.
rewarding
yeah.
to the player.
But
If
where's the
manage-
hologlobe? Because
Right.
every big ship has it.
just kind of
and,
get one of
like-
these ships, you want it to
I don't know. It's just awkward.
It-
Honestly, it's just awkward looking.
Mm. Yeah, there's something about it. I don't know what it is. There's something I can't put my finger on. It just doesn't look.
These
Right.
guys need to face the other side, like in most of the Star Trek and like most of the movies that we watched. They're always facing the wall, and they have like a huge panel on the wall that they can like look at or like interact with. And I don't like. Are they behind him or in front of him?
I
Also, the
think
lighting
they're
is off.
behind.
Yeah, the lighting is off, and I like most of it is just like a wasted space, honestly.
Oh, hey, just so you know, it
Mhm.
started thunderstorming here. So if I suddenly disappear, it's because the power
Oh,
went
okay.
out.
feel like they are kind of really living that kind of military life dream. So we've spent a bit of time kind of opening it up, giving some nicer views as you kind of enter
The view is
onto the
nice.
bridge itself.
Mhm.
What we really want to do is kind of make sure that the player views are good, the captain gets a great kind of view out the front, and make sure that navigating around that area, especially as kind of more and more kind of multi-crew gameplay systems come online, we want to make sure that there's enough space on that bridge to have not just the captain and the pilot, but a whole crew there.
What's the
Compared
minimum
to the
crew on
concept
this?
mesh, one not
I think it's like 4 to 6, something like that.
big change, but unresolved area was the hangar opening. It was just, it's quite a complex shape to
See the
open,
scorp
so we
taken off
spent a lot
from
of
the
time
hangar?
working on that, but that's all resolved.
That's fucking
and then
amazing. Come on.
another thing we are looking at in the future is actually doing some more upgunning of the turrets. So it is not just a torpedo boat. It can sort of hold its own against other capital ships with its turrets. You'll see more of that as we get closer to...
Which is very important because torps are dog shit now. Because, like, how many do you get? Like, you get 26 of them or something like that. And you can just flare them off easily.
Releasing it, which we are aiming for at IE this year.
So, what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that the Drake Ironclad is the next cargo ship from Drake designed to fill that
Alright, so
gap
that's
between the
it.
Caterpillar.
What did we learn this week? Whatever.
That the Ironclad looks badass, especially the assault variant with possible tank repair area.
Look at this, dude.
I might actually make that my wallpaper now.
Yeah. It is fucking amazing. Come on.
My two and a half years I've been here, I've never been excited about any of the big ships. Not like the Polaris has definitely made me go ooh, but the Ironclad makes me go ooh.
Okay. I cannot. I'm gonna agree with that. You're just being weird, but yeah. So what is the next video that you? Oh, it's a morph video. You want to watch that? By the way, yeah. Go ahead.
You do your thing. Do your thing.
No, I just wanted to say to the chat for you guys that just joined. Click on the link that's pinned in the comments or the description. This is like a charity kind of a stream, and it's for Starr Streams. So he's in a really bad spot right now. So if you can help out, that would be amazing. Don't send the money to me because I don't need it, and secondly, I cannot get the money to him because like once it gets to me, it's gonna be like fucking 50% off. So anyway, what did you want to say? Sorry.
I don't remember. I just grabbed a whole bunch of different stuff that looked interesting and threw it in there. So if you find something different or you don't want to watch it, you're not gonna make me cry or nothing. I just found a whole bunch.
It's fine. I just didn't have enough time. I was like fiddling with my OBS and trying to like make my scenes work because they didn't work. Because I haven't streamed in a while. But you want to watch this for a second because this is fucking we crave this. So this is just for us. We're just craving for this.
We kill it. We break the synaptic connection. They'd scatter like rats. And if you're wrong,
this looks so much fun.
I cannot afford to throw men after a hunch. Give me 2 squads. 3 Space Marines. That's all I can spare. Brief them immediately.
Oof.
Talassa, we are almost there. What is your status?
Yeah, it looks like the whatchamacallit. What is it called? It's not the Liberator, the fucking docking ship.
Legionnaire.
Legionnaire, right?
Yeah.
It does like remind me of that
Talassa,
for some reason.
we are almost there.
It
What
also
is your
looks like
status?
a less fat raptor from Battlestar.
Acknowledged.
True.
Proceeding to relay.
Talassa on the march to take that high tide.
I'm just hoping that you can just go with a helmet off at all times. That'd be amazing.
Clear that wall climbing scum. Death to all Xenos. Now.
And of course, I'm gonna be the guy with a fucking axe when we play it,
Dying to carve up some Xenos.
or a chainsword.
Bomb is in place, command.
I want the biggest guns.
We can make it. Keep going.
Look at the amount of shit on the screen, dude. I showed you that one like a video that there was like thousands of them on the screen.
Yeah. Is this what engine is this? Is this Unreal?
I'm not sure. I have no idea.
Me neither, Rhino. But fun is fun. Wait, was there engines on that sword?
Probably on this one.
Oh, look at that! It looks like an engine on there, like it's jet
chainsaw,
powered.
dude. It's a chainsaw.
Yeah.
So by the way, before the video ends, they said DLCs are gonna be free. And they said that the only like paid for DLCs are gonna be cosmetics. And although there is one catch, you can pre-order it now for like, I don't know, $60 to $100, and you can play it like 3 days earlier there than anyone else. So that's the only catch. So anyway,
Just as long as they don't pull a Helldivers Sony shit.
yeah. Oh, it looks amazing.
It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's like Helldivers, but also God of War, right?
Yeah, or somebody said Gears of War too, because it's got
Gears
that
of War, yeah.
that shoulder perspective.
Yeah. It's yeah. If you guys didn't like see this is fucking amazing. I can't wait for this. There's the link. It's about like it's gonna be released in September. Yeah.
Yeah, like September 9th or something like that. Yep, there it is, September 9th.
Yeah. I cannot wait for this. This is fucking ugh. Anyway, you sent me the morph video. It's a new video. I guess we're gonna have a bunch of commercials here. So be prepared.
Probably.
Yeah. Let's go.
So while we just got a bunch of new content with the last patch 3.2,
How do you feel about the
Invictus
Firebird?
just also rolled out.
I think it's stupid. I have a lot of strong feelings about it. First of all, the Saber Raven, it was like an Intel deal, and a bunch of people, including like Fateless, that's probably still in the chat, they bought it and they like found those what are they called? SSDs, like old fucking SSDs, so they can actually get the ship in the game. So because they can't release it because it's like under whatever, it's not an NDA or on our contract. They like made a variant, and the variant has it had like on the initial launch it had 12 missiles, but everybody was like pissed off, including me. Like, why would you launch a ship with 12 missiles, like size 3 that you can't switch out? Like, you can only use size 3s. Because, like, you can flare them off, and then, like, what? You have 2 size 3 guns, and that's it. Like, what the fuck is the point of the ship? And earlier today, I noticed that they updated the thing, and they said something on Spectrum, and they gave it, like, 12 more missiles, so it's 24 now.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Which is just to, like, boost the sales, because they were not happy with the sales.
I'm not a fan of it. I don't like the way it looks. I think we have enough missile boats, but that's my opinion. And if you were to ask me what by looks, what is my favorite ship as far as fighters go, it's the just the regular Saber.
Out of all the ships?
Out of all the fighter ships, the Saber.
Really?
The Saber. Yeah, I love the look of the Saber.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I think.
But the Buccaneer.
No, it looks ugly. It
The
looks ugly.
X-Wing? No, the Buccaneer looks amazing. Come on.
I don't like the way it looks. I mean, it flies nice. I've flown it a few times. It flies all right. I mean, this was pre-master modes. It flies all right. It's fine. It just looks ugly. I like the sleek lines of the regular Saber. The Saber Comet's not bad either. That digital camo with the glowy blue lines. I like that too. But
I never understood the point of the Comet. Is it just like a reskin and that's it? There's no difference?
Pretty much. But I do love the look of the Saber. The Saber, I don't know. I don't know if it's my childhood coming back and watching Top Gun like 85 times in a summer, and the F-14 Tomcat. I like the look of the Saber. I can't help it. I love it.
Okay.
But
I don't know. I'm into spaceships that don't look like planes, but that's just me, I guess.
giving us a multitude of new ships to take a look at, including some concepts and ships coming in the very near future, like the massive Corvette Polaris coming out in the next patch 4.0, and the new Drake Iron.
It wasn't supposed to be a Corvette. I think it was supposed to be a destroyer or something like that. Because like in the Navy, Corvettes are supposed to fight smaller ships, right?
Yeah, they're supposed to fight smaller ships and then provide screens against fighters.
And the whatchamacallit, destroyers are supposed to destroy bigger ships, like larger ships, right?
Yeah, they're supposed to go. So at least going off of video gameplay and not real life, because I'm not that big into naval warfare. Destroyers are generally used to take out other destroyers, tag team cruisers, and go after corvettes.
Ironclad,
okay.
Massive armored hulling ship. So let's dive into what's new, what's changed, and what's coming. And if by the end you think I did a good job and you want to see more content like this, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below.
Daughter was showing me some artwork.
By the way, I didn't even notice. I didn't read anything on it, but they released a new Argo cargo.
Really?
Yeah. He just showed it here. I don't know if he's gonna talk about it, but it's this. It's the Argo cargo without the pod in the back.
I don't like this part. I see. I'm one of the few people that does like the Hornet, the Mark 1.
Oh, yeah.
Starting with
I mean, there is slight differences. I get why they did it. I do not understand the price increase. I think it's dumb. I understand that it's because it has more guns, but then again, isn't that breaking the game a bit? Because none of the ships have fucking 3 size 4s and 2 size 3s.
No.
But then again, that's just me.
Ship updates, it looks like the F7 Mark 1 series from Anvil is going away as of the end of this Invictus.
My precious ghost. My precious ghost.
It like the old one reminds me. I mean, you can just keep it if you have it in your hangar. And
No,
you can sell
I
it
didn't
for
pledge
like
for it.
$2,000 in like 2 years from now.
I don't have it. I don't have it pledged. I mean, it is tempting to pledge for one now. I think it's like they increased the price, but I know a few months ago when I was looking at them, it was like 115 or 120 for the Ghost.
It's 125, I think, for the base one.
Oof.
Something like that. And then the
It's
Ghost is like 150.
That's like 4 video games I could buy.
Yeah. It's like you can buy a fucking tires for your car on winter.
Almost.
One of the first ships ever shown by Chris Roberts when he pitched the idea of Star Citizen over 11 years ago.
And also
as
it's
you
the
can see
original
from
ship.
the original footage, it's
like he was sitting in this
the same
Hornet.
since then, minus some updates.
And also, the old Hornet reminds me of the X-Wing. The new one does not. It's too sleek and nice looking.
This kind of reminds me of the Viper Mark IIs. Sorta. It doesn't have that triangle shape with the 3 wings, but it reminds me. The nose reminds me of it.
You don't see my face, but yeah, I'm showing it on stream right now. It does remind me of that, like a combination of that and the X-Wing. And it's because of the straight angles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bummer, but I've heard that they're gonna like keep it in the game, and you will be able to earn it. Although, why would you be able to earn a ship that's obsolete? I don't get it. But anyway,
updates that have happened over the years just to keep it flyable and usable by players who've purchased it. It was once also likely the star of Squadron 42, but they've moved on from then to the Gladius and the new F7 Mark II. I think it's rather cool that they're keeping the original version around, though it is a bit surprising that they're taking it off the store. It's one of the first times CIG has ever removed a ship from the store for good, which I genuinely hope is the start of a trend for some select ships in the store. CIG says that it will still, though, get an update pass to bring it up to gold standard and will continue to be supported by developers. They also noted that it will eventually also be earnable in-game, although they didn't specify any details on how this would happen, but I think it's a safe bet that it will have to do with reputation, which is exactly how I hope other ships taken off the store could also be earned. The Invictus
I
Blitz
just
also
really
saw the
think Mark
update to the
IIs and then retiring Mark I's is going to become a more prominent thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, and I'm honestly scared that like they're gonna update the Buccaneer now, and they're gonna like
Gladius.
Oh well,
Arrow.
the Gladius, yeah, the Arrow. I think the Gladius is just gonna stay the same because it was meta for fucking ever, and it's like in Squadron 42, so like whatever. But yeah, maybe even the Saber.
Oh no! Oh no!
You know what needs an update? A Connie. Connie's looks like they look like shit. Like the cockpit is just terrible. It was all
the cockpit. Yes, the cockpit is terrible. I like the look of the outside, but if they came out with a Mark II where it was where it kind of kept its same base design but made it a little bit sleeker, I think it would be
or
really
maybe in line with the like all the other RSI ships that are like
better
Star Destroyers, better and Star Destroyer E, right?
Yeah.
Retaliator bringing it up to gold standard, adding the resource network onto it in preparation for the 4.0 engineering update, as well as modularity for ships. It's the first ship in the game then to have a functional version of this tech that they've been developing for years.
Also, like the
This first
Retaliator
iteration
can
has
carry
only
like
two
what
modules, though, a
60
cargo
SUs
module-
of cargo. It's fucking stupid. And they I don't know like the exact like amount of cargo, but it's just dumb. But also, did you notice what they did with the gold standard and how, like what shields it has now?
I think wasn't you or Rakumo talking about
Yeah,
it? It's
we were
got
talking
like
about it yesterday.
like 6 size 2s or
Size 2s.
yeah, that's insane.
And it still has less shields than like a single size 3, apparently.
Module, as well as a torpedo
Yeah, I'll check it right now.
module, which is from the Torpedo variant, with in-concept plans for a jump seat variant as well as a living module. Not having a module, by the way, just leaves the space blank. It's still usable. You could probably throw some cargo boxes in here, but it doesn't technically have a cargo grid, so I'm not sure if you could actually even sell it.
I'm gonna say this, I do like the dropship module that I don't think is available, but you have like the seats in the middle. And they're on the left and the right side. And if it can go down, like if you can, if it's elevator, that it would be really cool because you can just land and drop them off immediately.
Off of it.
They don't need
Interior,
to go
though,
to
is
a
pretty much the
choke
same as it
point.
was before, with some visual updates and lighting passes, as well as a change to the way that you enter it through the bottom and the location of the airlock, which is now on the side versus the top. The flight deck is also now updated. The MFDs are different, and gone is the massive radar screen in the center of your vision. I think it's a pretty cool.
So, Urkel, it says this is the Connie Phoenix, whatever. It has a single size 3, right? And it has 100,000 HP in the shields. And this has 36,000 in the shields. With like 6 size 2s. This is the Retaliator.
That's I think somebody mathed wrong.
I don't know. It's 6,000 per shield.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Okay, maybe they didn't math wrong.
Yep.
Update. I'm not entirely sure how useful these cargo modules are going to be, but at least it gives you a taste of what modularity can bring to the game, albeit in a small bite size.
Thank you, Indigo, for your donation.
They've also added a new variant to the Argo
I'm also hoping that
called the
he's gonna
Tractor
be better.
variant, and it basically is able to move cargo around a lot more efficiently than the original version, having
tried to
2
low
tractor
fly
beams and
the
the ability
original
to carry
version of that.
cargo where the module sits.
What did you say?
I tried to low fly the original version of that on
Did you see my video on the Argo Cargo when we won over the MSR?
No.
It was like the... I don't think you were even playing back then. It was
I don't think
the
so.
ship showdown. So we were trying to make Argo Cargo win because we were just like, fuck you, CAG. Like, don't give us big ships that are empty. Just give us something that works. And then I made like a couple of videos on the Argo Cargo, why it needs to win and all of that. And then I made an Argo Cargo commercial. Actually, I'll just yeah, you'll see it in a second. And I low flied in it, and it was fucking like, I think it was like 15 of us, and we were just like low flying on Daymar with it, and it was crazy and it was funny. I'll show you in a second.
cargo, where the module sits for the other two personnel and cargo variants. What's really baffling about this one, though, is that it's designed to do precisely what the original was meant to do if you look at the literature on the website.
It's supposed to do the same fucking thing. So why do we have a new variant? Can you explain this to me, Scarred? Like, I don't fucking get this.
Next patch.
Next patch, okay.
It seems to me that CIG, instead of updating the ship to
I don't
fit
know what
with the
to
updated
say.
systems that were
I really
concepted
don't.
after the ship was sold, they've elected instead to just create a new
And also, like,
variant.
I don't get the fucking back portion that is just empty. Like, why didn't they just detach that thing on the Argo cargo and that's it, and like attach it, like, just fucking get a tractor beam on the nose. Also, why does it have a tractor beam on the nose? What's the fucking point? Why does it have this fucking whole like area in the back? I don't fucking get it.
They've elected instead to just create a new variant to fit with the new systems, rendering the originals needlessly obsolete. And while the thought did cross my mind that they could have done this in order to make an extra buck, I wonder why they didn't just choose to sell some new modules. Say, for example, a base building module or a module for medical stuff. After all, the ship is slated in the new literature to still be able to equip the same modules as the other variants when that system comes online. Only this one's got tractor beams, so it does the original function way better.
This was
it's just such a weird choice,
we have an
and it
intern we don't know what to do with.
Yeah.
And
And
so
then
here's
the
your
intern
project.
gets paid for fucking getting the cargo area off of it and sticking a fucking tractor beam on it. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm pretty sure that like all of us can do that. Fucking.
Feels like another rock DS.
I'm angry. I'm honestly angry.
Sound off if you got the same feeling as I do on this one. It just
Okay. You know what? Because I'm angry, I just wanna play this for the stream and for you because you didn't see it. It's the Argo cargo commercial. It's when the Argo cargo won over the MSR. But then they said that it's not going to happen, so they gave the skin to the MSR.
In a universe far, far from being completed. A new hero has been born.
This is great.
Enter the Argo cargo.
That's the portion where we all played it.
Winner
That's
of
cool
the
shot.
annual ship showdown.
Thank you.
The most pointless competition ever. The leader of the new resistance. The community has risen against the oppressors.
Oh man, this is great.
And this is the little ship
good
that
shot, too.
could.
Ooh, the noise right above, that was great.
Thank you for.
That was really good. That was very well done. I'd never seen that video.
Yeah, it was back when my music PC was working, so I made the song, and I just wanted to make the whole thing like grandiose and pompous.
different reasons. Sound off if you got the same feeling as I do on this one. It just seems strange. Next is an easy win, the Ursa medevac version. This has been a requested vehicle for some time now, as it just seemed like the perfect vehicle to do something like this.
Everything
with.
I understand the gameplay behind it and how some people would want this. I do. I don't think it should respawn people, but we've kind of been over that.
Yeah, I don't think that the Pisces and the medevac should respawn people, but
no,
I also think that I would like that if a Corsair could respawn people. So this is basically a spawn point in the Corsair. I mean, Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
The CID are basically, and we don't have a ground vehicle yet for medical rescue. Practically speaking, though, it's going to serve the same function as the other medical beds.
But you know what? In the Ironclad, what is it called? Iron Storm?
Ironclad.
Ironclad. Okay.
Ironclad.
Clad.
Ironclad. Clad. Yeah.
Clad. Okay.
Like
so,
I'm clad in armor.
Oh,
armor clad.
Yes. Yes. I'm Serbian, by the way. Hi, I'm grumpy. but yeah. I forgot what I wanted to say. Yeah. Oh. You can fucking store 50 of these, or like one, right? So you can have a respawn point. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
3, it's going to allow you to respawn on it, which is great for anybody who has a ship that can carry one of these because it effectively makes it so that you now have the ability to equip your larger ship with a med bay that it didn't have before, which is also going to be especially useful for approaching those new distribution centers that are hostile and almost impenetrable to approach from the air. It will, however, have a much more limited respawn range, so keep that in mind. This is going to be balanced, so be sure to check the patch notes to figure out what it is in the current patch. So what do you think? You want one? I picked one up already for myself. And then there's
honestly, I think everybody picked up one, at least one.
Variant of one of my favorite...
Not you. Well, yeah, because you're not even playing Star Citizen.
Ships in the game. The Saber Raven has got...
You know what's fucking like hilarious? That I stopped playing, and you were playing back then, and you were like, "Well, you want to play? Like don't like stop. Like let's play together." And now like the new patch dropped, and I'm like, I picked up some interest, and I played it a bit, and you're like, nah, I just want to try it.
I'm probably gonna play tonight as long as these thunderstorms don't knock out the power. I'm gonna give it an honest try, and we'll see what happens.
All right, I'll be there.
New brother, sister, however you want to look at it, called the Saber Firebird. It's basically the same model as the Raven, only it's got some subtle changes and a different function. Instead of having the 2 EMPs of the original Raven,
the Raven is good because it has these holes here, and they're like aesthetically pleasing. This one is just like, why is it so big? And the fuck is it gonna do? It's gonna miss its fucking 26 missiles. You're gonna flare them off, and then you're gonna come to it, and it has 2 size 3s, and it has a huge fucking cross section, and it's dead. Why would you buy this?
I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, like even for PvE, this shit doesn't work. What can you do with 26 or 24 actually size 3 missiles? Nothing. You can kill a cutty. Maybe if the server is bad and they don't flare, you can kill a cutty. But you're not going to kill a hammerhead with it.
Instead sports a massive missile battery on the bottom part of the ship. When deployed, it can throw out 12 size 3 missiles, 6 at once, with plans to actually add more in the future, as 12 seem like they might not be quite enough to keep this thing interesting and viable in real combat. After all, missiles are quite literally hit and miss. When you run out of missiles though, you've got 2 size 3s mounted next to the cockpit under the wings, and a lot of speed to get in and out of situations when you need to. And this thing is fast. I mean,
well, you know what? The clouds look better in the new patch.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They're still not like DCS clouds. They're not at that level, but they're better.
Fast, especially in atmosphere. So it's a really cool opportunity to get your hands on a Saber Raven hull. After all, they're probably never going to sell the original version because of the deal with Intel. It was a promotional ship, so they probably have some contractual obligations with them. So pick one up if you're interested.
I like
Otherwise,
that
you can wait until 4.0 comes online, where it's probably going to become available for purchase in-game. It's also worth noting that this comes alongside a gold pass on the original Saber Raven, so if you've got one, go ahead and check it out in your hangar. It's quite a bit more pretty than it was.
I really have to use my, well, if I make any more like Star Citizen videos, I wish I used my PS5 controller for making shots like these, because I always like hold F4Z and like move my mouse a bit so I can like get the camera.
Next is not technically a released ship yet. It's the Polaris. We finally got a look at its exterior thanks to it being put on the show floor of Invictus, and thanks to it being part of the parade that flies around during the event in-game. So if you haven't checked it out yet, you can check it out in-game right now. If you can locate where the fleet is, personally, I haven't actually been able to find it. Right now, it's just the
Nobody
exterior,
can
as
fight.
it's a massive undertaking by
don't think
the
it's
ship
even there.
teams over at CIG.
Rhino said they
It's
had turned
taking
it off
a
because it was causing issues.
You know what's funny? Like a short story time. A couple of years ago, there was a Invictus, and you had the fleet fly everywhere. And the last time, like just before Invictus stopped, they were on Microtech, or like Tressler, or whatever the port is called. And I was mining at the time on Clio. And at one point, I just saw a bunch of blue dots on the radar appear, and I was like, "The fuck was that? Like, what's happening?" And I just saw hammerheads and like the big ships just ramming into Clio and exploding over there. So I guess that was the like how they got rid of them.
a huge part of the entire 27-person ship team that we know of to complete it, as big ships like this generally take a year plus in order to complete, according to John Crew, the vehicle director at CIG. And this is actually why we've got so many variants instead of new ships at this year's Invictus show, because a lot of the teams are tasked right now with working on an...
What did you say?
I like the engines on this too.
Yeah. I just wanna hear this one once more.
Why we've got so many variants instead of new in order to complete,
why?
according to John Crew, the vehicle director at CIG. And this is actually why we've got so many variants instead of new ships at this year's Invictus show, because...
Well, no, it's mostly because of the money. Because when you need money, you make variants, not like yeah. It's just easy to make. Instead of new ships or modular ships, you just make variants. Oh, it's your kids. That's cute.
They're leaving to go to their in-laws, or my in-laws, their in-laws, my in-laws for the weekend.
Because a lot
So
of
have
the
some
teams are
in-laws,
tasked
we're in
right now
trouble.
with working on an RSI capital ship. This, like they said at the last CitizenCon, lays the groundwork for being able to do some of the other large RSI ships planned to be in the game, like the Perseus or the Galaxy. And it's planned to be released alongside 4.0. It's a really cool looking big capital ship, and it's really exciting to finally see a military-oriented cap ship come into the game in the very near future. It seems like it's going to be a great ship for such a big, foreign, and hostile star system like Pyro. And it will very likely be the very first big capital ship we have with the new engineering system.
It's going to be
alongside...
pointless. Like all the capital ships and like big ships like the Carrack are going to be pointless in Pyro or anywhere else if you don't have the marker system working. So you can just place a marker and you would know where your ship is at like forever, and it just stays there, so you can use it as a base and come back to it, right?
Yes, yeah, I agree. I agree. If you don't have a way to mark your ship, there's, I mean, it'll be a cool ship, but it'll be worthless if you can't get back to it.
Yeah.
Said system, which is also planned for 4.0's release. I say very likely because I am still thinking they're gonna announce a release date for Squadron this year, meaning they might also release the also highly anticipated Idris, which is a great deal further along than the Polaris. We even have it actually currently in game as a ship we can tour, not own, but tour. So I'm really hoping for some Polaris versus Idris action come 4.0. And while I don't currently own one, it's really
it reminds me of one of the hangars from Battlestar Galactica. You know how it has hangars on the side?
Yeah, and
so like
through the launch tubes.
Yeah. Well, not the launch tubes, the hangars for the Raptors. That's what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, on the side.
Yeah.
So the launch tubes are for the Viper. Honestly, I think that the Polaris is like a missed opportunity to have like launch tubes on the side for like what are they called? Merlins, something like that.
Ooh.
Like smaller Furies, like small ships, snub fighters.
This year, meaning they might also release the also highly anticipated Idris, which is a great deal further along than the Polaris. We even have it actually currently in game as a ship we can tour, not own, but tour. So I'm really hoping for some Polaris versus Idris action come 4.0.
Honestly, they need to release it at the same time, because like if you have a Polaris, it's just like you have rock, paper, scissor, and then you have Polaris, like fucking just like flamethrower, right?
Right. I mean, you got to have something to go against the Polaris.
Yeah.
I mean, something. And I don't know. Marcus was saying that they have turned off beacons, so you won't even be able to work your way up to the critical threat beacons and fight against the Idris and Javelin in that with the Polaris, unless they turn those back on by then.
Yeah. That, like, I don't know. That would be cool, having a Polaris and then a Reclaimer to just, like, clear it up afterwards.
Oh,
So you
yeah.
can get some money out of it. Although, I don't know if you know what they did with the prices for the materials.
Yeah, they like what? CMC is like 1,000 and RMC is like 6,000.
No, CM is like 1,000 and the RMC is 14,000, something like that.
Oh, okay.
So they really want you to, like, again, CAG said plenty of times that, like, hull scraping is like the cherry on the top, and that, like, hull munching is going to be the main thing, and you're like the main money earner. But again, they changed their mind because they can't make a mechanic that's fun and engaging and, like,
Profitable.
Hmm?
Profitable.
No, not profitable, but like, if it took some skill for you to hull munch, then it would be like you would spend some time to actually, like, I don't know, split the hulls into a couple of segments so you can munch them. So now you just, like, press you left click and you wait, and you left click and you wait, and that's it. Like, just because of that, they had to fucking nerf the prices. And, like, I don't think they're ever going to change that. Like, not in the next fucking 2 years. I don't think the claw is ever going to be a claw. I think it's just going to be a straw, and that's it.
I don't personally own one. It's really got me itching to grab for my wallet. They've done a fantastic job on it so far, and I really look forward to doing a full review for you guys when it finally releases to the PU sometime towards the end of this year. I'm guessing around CitizenCon, when the Q3 patch is slated to release. But the next ship on this list, well, my finger is all but on the buy button. I'm talking about the recently revealed Drake Ironclad. So it looks like CIG
Everybody's
are finally
going
coming
gaga
out
over
with
this.
yet another big concept ship for Starr Citizen.
It's a fucking spaceship in a space game. It doesn't have wings. It doesn't look like a plane. It's a fucking spaceship. That's why.
This is the
I think
Drake
Salty bought
Ironclad,
one this
a
morning.
new armored
Probably.
transport ship that
I got
lies
one.
somewhere between large.
CC'd my ion. Yeah, I melted my fucking what is it called, Caterpillar, and then just used the money to CC the ion to this one, and I have like $50 to spend more.
Large ship like the Drake Caterpillar and the C2,
And you
the
get a
much larger
Caterpillar
Hull
as
C, Hull D, and Hull E. But
So I
unlike
didn't lose
those
anything.
larger ships, it's actually got a covered bay, hence the armored advertisement, allowing you to go to a lot more sketchy areas. One of the cool things about this ship that I've seen just from the
that thing
art so
looks sexy
far
as fuck.
is that it has a top loading bay as well as a front loading bay, allowing you to much more easily load and unload this thing with the current systems they've designed. It shows off how they're able to now leverage understanding how the systems work to design a much better ship.
I loved what they did with the moving pictures. It actually, like, the production of their video is much better than, like, it's not just a picture and they zoom in and zoom out.
Right.
That's it.
It also makes me think that some of the older ships could use a bit of an update to make them fall more in line with what systems are today. But unlike with the Argo variants, I don't feel like this thing is a waste or unnecessary. I feel like it fits a really cool spot in between two ship sizes and offers an alternative way to
Although a Hull B was supposed to also do that, but I'm just happy that we have a Drake big-ass cargo ship / assault ship.
transport cargo in a lot more dangerous areas. After all, say for example, transporting cargo in Pyro is going to be a lot more difficult than in Stanton. You don't want your cargo hanging off your ship when you're parked at a station. And of course, it also looks like the perfect
Are you noticing windows?
I am noticing windows.
pocket carrier. It's got a top-loading bay, which means you could land ships potentially on the
They
top
really
of
need
it, and
money.
it's got some extra
They're
cargo
like,
space
just give them everything
inside
they
and
want.
in the back where you could put extra
Right.
ammo, missiles, or cargo.
Throw a
that you
med
could
bed in
use
there,
for
too.
Fuel,
Yeah.
rearm, and repair
Dude, it's
the
probably
ship
going to
that
have a
you
med bed. If not, you
Oh,
can
yeah.
just use the Ursa.
Land within it,
Yeah,
making it a
it'll
great
have
potential
one.
logistics carrier out where you're in an area where there may be less support. It also looks like they're going to have two variants of this ship, a more cargo-oriented version, as well as a more military-oriented version, which will have more turrets but less cargo space. One thing to keep in mind with this, though, is that it is technically still in concept and not under direct development. Right now, they're working on the RSI lineup of ships. Next, though, they're likely going to move on to another manufacturer, and seeing as how they're announcing this concept ship, it may be that they're choosing to next work on Drake. There are a large amount of large ships left over, and some older ones that need to be updated like the Caterpillar, that will likely be able to use some of the parts they developed for this particular ship. In fact, the command module they show in the concept art is the same exact one utilized for the Caterpillar. Now, in terms of how much this thing is going to cost, I have no idea just yet. It's not yet up on the website. It will be available within the next couple of days when it goes up for the Drake Defense.
What will be fun if they actually gave us the opportunity to do that? Just park a Caterpillar somewhere in the middle of nowhere with like science modules or like refinery modules and shit like that, and detach the cockpit or whatever, the bridge, and attach it to this one, go gather some stuff, come back.
That would be cool,
right?
Con event.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Also, remember when I said that you can use the Caterpillar as a size 20 torpedo, non-guided? This is a size 50 torpedo.
But it's likely going to be in the $600 to $900 range. That'd be my guess. So it's not going to be cheap. So before you press the buy button, just keep in mind that it's probably 2 to 3 years likely away at the least.
That's
What do
what
you
I
guys
was
think
thinking
about
too.
this year's Invictus? Were there enough ships to grab your interest, or did you feel it was a bit light? Personally, I think because
I don't think it was light.
Polaris,
I
it's
think it
made
was
the new
like
ship
way
lineup
too much.
a bit on the lighter side in a time where they probably could use to add a few more ships that people could spend money on to shore up funding. I know that.
Go ahead.
I can see them trying to put this and the RSI Arastra
yeah.
Arastra out at the same time. I could see them trying to push to get those both out at the same time.
I would. Yeah, the Arastra has a refinery on top of it, right? Or inside of it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's got the mining, like what, 3 or 4 mining turrets, and then it's got I forget how many other turrets it has.
Because they're about to do the Polaris, it should be easy for them to actually make the Arastra now. Because they're going to have the assets.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
my opinion is that they're going to try to push to get these out in the same year.
I don't think it's going to take them 2 years. I think it's going to be faster than that because they already have a bunch of assets. They just don't like obviously have the outside. Although the wing, this is just from the Caterpillar from the side. So they are going to be able to reuse some assets for it, obviously, turrets, etc. But yeah,
That
we'll
sounds
see.
crazy, but if you track their funding, they do kind of need it given how big they've become and how much money they spend on the project. And speaking of support, if you guys ever want to support the hard work that I put into making these types of videos, because they do take a lot of time to put together, you might consider becoming a Patreon member, because I have a Patreon, and it's been something that I've had for quite some time. And one of the perks
Actually, again, 5.
Yeah, the one in the repair. Oh my god.
I'm hoping that they're actually gonna like implement some repair gameplay. Also, what is this seat here? I can't even zoom in, but like it's a seat.
I think it's supposed to be on rails, like it moves forward and backwards.
Yeah, I mean it is on rails, but I don't know what it is. But
those are the tractor beam seats. Oh wait, no, the tractor beam seats are up towards the glass.
Yeah.
What is that one?
I have no idea.
It's a Peloton.
What now?
It's a really expensive a Peloton. It's a very expensive stationary bike. That's bad joke. Bad joke.
Okay, I get it now. So here's the video. You can, and not like I'm gonna be an asshole now, but you can support Morph on his Patreon. But you also can click on the link in the description of this video and support our brother Starr Streams and help him out because he's in a real bad state. So yeah, I suggest you do that. Don't buy ships, just support Starr Streams. But anyway, you want to do one more? How much time do you have?
We can do one more. We can do
All
one
right.
more. I'm good. I'm
All
good.
right. Which one? You choose. Faster. I didn't watch this one. I don't know what this is.
I think it's a trailer, and then a lot of these are just upcoming space games that are coming up.
Right, so
I didn't
which
watch.
one?
I watched none of these. I mean, the trailer doesn't look that. How long is that trailer? I can't even see.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah, we can like fit this one in and maybe one more.
All right. Ooh, it's Arcorp.
Getting some Blade Runner vibes.
Yeah.
I'm in the business of secrets, but it's more
Icarus?
of an addiction.
Wait, is this fucking Ryan Gosling?
I don't know, but the beer. Like, I know is cinematic thing.
Okay.
The water and the condensation looked really good, and his beard actually looks like a beard.
Yeah.
I like him straight. No chaser.
What the hell?
Even though the stuff can kill you. They say time heals all
I have no idea.
wounds. But that's bullshit. I'll tell you what time does.
Looks like 1920s mafia in like the year 4000.
Yeah. And also, the time thing reminds me of Prince of Persia.
Secrets.
Is this a tree? It is a tree. What?
Secrets that enslave us. Secrets that...
Wait, this looks like a in-game shot, right? It's 3D.
It does. It does look like an in-game shot. That also looks like a floating Batmobile, just
This
lower
one, yeah.
to the right. Yeah.
Although it is very nice looking, so it's probably
This
not an in-game shot.
This looks like Gotham in the future.
Yeah.
Secrets that poison us. Secrets that rip us apart.
Show us some gameplay.
I know, right?
Yeah. What?
Secrets.
Wait, what?
Right? Doesn't that look cool? I didn't watch this. I saw it. And I'm like, yeah, this looks kind of interesting from the thumbnail, and I sent it your way. I'm like, I wonder, if we get to it, we get to it. If not,
I mean, it looks amazing, but like in the end, it might be just a side scroller.
True.
Secrets I'm gonna drag into the light.
Okay.
Or they'll drag me to hell.
I'm not sure what to think. I'm not sure what to think.
What is this?
I don't know.
What is what is it supposed to be?
I think it's supposed to be like crime noir, if I'm pronouncing that right, with some time travel and futuristic stuff put into it. That's kind of what I'm getting.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe somebody in chat knows better than we do.
There you go. There's the link. I'm just confused now. It looks amazing.
Yeah,
I want to watch it if it's a movie. I mean, it might be a movie.
Movie on PS5 and Steam.
Yeah, in the dystopian world of New York in the year 2329, in Nobody Wants to Die, a new detective noir adventure. Oh, it might be that like point and click kind of a game from the 90s, where immortality comes at a price that somebody has to pay. Okay. As Detective James Cara You'll lead the investigation using advanced technology, risking it all, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It is going to be on PC, so... Well, I don't know. We're gonna check it out.
Yeah.
All right, which
we
one?
Can do, we,
Hmm?
I don't really care. We can either do the Eve one because we were talking about it the other day, and it seems like there's a lot of crossover and parallels from Star Citizen to Eve, or we can do, some top upcoming games and either laugh at their cinematics or say, "Ooh, that looks cool."
Well, which one? You choose.
Me? Don't put that pressure on me.
All right. Let the chat choose. I guess we neglected them a bit. So it's either top 8 upcoming space simulation games in 2024. That's you vote by pressing number 1 and enter, or number 2. And number 2 is should you play EVE Online in 2024? So tell us, guys. You wanna see the upcoming games or EVE Online? And let me play some music in the background.
And guys, make sure you go check out that link in the description and help out Starr, please. Please.
Yeah, please. Okay, Carl is getting banned. Mighty Potato is getting banned. 12. You're letting Star Citizen off too easy. He needs to sweat a bit. What do you mean?
By putting pressure on me by making me choose which video.
Oh.
So it looks like we got a 1 and 2 2s. 3 2s.
Okay. Let's watch the one with the EVE Online thingy. I'm super interested. Okay, you can stop spamming random fucking numbers now. Jesus Christ. So I'm super interested. I want to play this game, but I just get overwhelmed. So I told Scar this yesterday. Fuck you, Scar, by the way. For the so I told Scar this yesterday. I started playing it like a year ago, 6 months ago. I'm not even sure. And I did the tutorial, and then I just stopped because of things. I don't even know. And I wanted to come back to it and wanted to play it, and I cannot get out to my fucking space station, the hangar at all. Like I'm completely fucking lost. So I need guidance, but I am interested. I want to experience a game with actual economy with it, and the only thing that's like I'm struggling with it's that the game itself is way too complex for my stupid little brain. So yeah, I'm scared. But maybe Scarred is gonna make another account because it's free to play now and we can play it together.
Oh, maybe.
Right.
We'll see. I didn't know it was free.
Yeah. I mean, you can buy shit in the game, but you don't need to. What's up, Constantinos?
Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I wanted to bring you a review
look at the amount of fucking text on the screen. And this is nothing. Like a new player like me is just gonna be fucking confused as hell. Like, what is all this shit?
And then all the stuff on the side, on the very, very far left.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I don't remember. I haven't played this in 13 years, 14 years, so I don't remember it looking quite like this. But yeah, that's a little overwhelming.
The visuals are amazing. It's the only thing that's good with Homeworld 3 are the visuals and the music. The music is actually like Battlestar Galactica kind of a theme. But this game like reminds me of, or Homeworld 3 reminds me of EVE Online because the visuals are just fucking phenomenal.
EVE Online in 2024, and what I experienced as a new player coming into this game.
Marcus, it's more of a clicker. You can move the camera wherever you want.
Into this game so far, I feel like 200 hours is a pretty good starting point, and I've only just scratched the surface, so I wouldn't trust any of these other reviews that you're seeing where people just rotate around an asteroid for 20 minutes and then call the game bad.
This is the point where I would log out never play or think about the game ever again.
I'm 200 hours in, and I've only just barely scratched the surface on what there
is that a
to
grumpy
do. But
review?
I wanted to show you some of the things I have done so far, and then I'm going to try and mention the other things that I haven't done.
I didn't play it enough.
Kind of get an
I would love to make a
understanding
review
of what there is to do and what you're supposed to be doing in the game. As a new player into the game, you're going to be started out with an intro quest. Kind of lead you through the basics of the game. It will show you the controls and how to use the combat. Also, will show you the basics around mining. Once you get out of the tutorial, it kind of leaves you wondering what you're supposed to be doing. I feel like
exactly
this is what happens to a lot of players, and is probably why some people don't get that far into the game to actually be able to experience it. A couple of things in the menu that they have the air career program.
It's just so big and complex that if you're not getting a little bit more hand holding, you kind of go, I don't know, I just don't know, and then
have you played Stellaris?
Yes.
You want to play it sometimes together, like 1v1 or versus AI?
I have it on my PS4. I don't have it on
okay.
computer.
Unfortunate.
But yes.
How do you play RTSs on a PS1 on a PlayStation?
It's intuitive. Somebody bought it for me for like my birthday or something like that because I knew I liked games like Civilization and I'll go real old school Star Wars Rebellion if anybody remembers that game, and Star Wars Empire at War, and Command and Conquerors, and the old school Warcraft games. I'm not talking about World of Warcraft, like Warcraft 1, 2, I think 3 a little
those
bit.
Games. Yeah.
And somebody knew that I think it was my brother, and he bought it for me for like $15 or something like that when it was on sale, and that's how I got it.
Yeah. But again, you did not answer my question. How do you play RTSs on a controller?
It's actually quite intuitive how they have it set up, and there's like modifiers, and then when you use the sticks, you can use that to highlight your units and then give them commands and stuff like that. It's not too bad. It's not the best, but for a controller, it's pretty good. I've played other RTS games on a controller, and they've been terrible. Stellaris did it pretty good. They did it pretty good.
All right. I mean, I know that I can't play FPS games on a controller. Like, I'm just completely lost. But yeah, I gotta try an RTS then.
Soldier of Fortune, this is the PvP
What's
one
up,
here. I kind of tried to sample them all to see what they were all about. I started off with the Enforcer role here, and what I did was I built myself this Cormorant, which you actually get from the starting storyline. Depending on which faction you choose, you'll get a destroyer.
Interesting.
You'll also get a mining ship as kind of the tutorial.
Oh, I guess you get the ship, like you get the hull, and then you just attach weapons to it and stuff like that.
Oh, you like modules, like Star Citizen?
Something like that.
You go into the bidding tab, and there's all sorts of stuff that you can add onto your ship. All of these modules you can add, so you can fully customize your ship. There's all sorts of stuff that you can put on here to make your ship.
Look at the amount of shit on the screen, my dude. Like how do you not get lost clicking on all this shit? Like, I so want to try it, but this just like puts me off like so hard.
Ship stronger, and then you have to stay within these constraints of CPU and power grid.
Fateless is yelling at you, Grumpy.
Capacitors, like,
you clowns know I play the game, right? What the fuck? I mean, you never showed interest to play with me.
Like your battery, so you want to make sure your capacitor is stable, otherwise you run out of battery, you lose your shields, that kind of thing. So there is a really in-depth building system. There are a lot of builds online, but I really enjoyed making my own builds. I took my freshly built Cormorant, and then I did these things called filaments. Filaments are basically these keys here. So hit one of these keys and you use it, and it will then open up an abyss for you. And when you go inside this abyss, it's going to be basically a dungeon, and depending on what type of ship, you can either have 1, 2, or 3 players. I went in a destroyer. It's recommended to have 2 destroyers, so I was just getting twice the loot. I kind of built up some funds doing that, and then I started to build myself a mining ship. And you can start by doing like rock mining, and I have some footage here of one of the mining barges that I built. And I'm just doing basic asteroid.
Are these like his little like ships?
Yeah, they're drones.
Drone mining here, which is pretty cool. You can have mining drones. This is something that's very relaxing to do in the game.
should've just
There's
waited.
different types of security in space.
You're
So
too
there'll
impatient,
be
Grumpy.
You know what this ship reminds me of? The Bumbleclaw.
Yeah.
Security from basically
Does it?
1.0
I mean,
to
all the
0,
ships
and
kind
then
of
you
look
actually
cool
get
in this game.
nullsec,
Yeah.
which
Because
is
they look like
below
real
0,
spaceships,
and
not
depending
like
on what
fucking
type of zone
planes.
you're in, there's
World War II
NPC,
planes.
police,
Like
basic.
the Sentinel is the P-39. P-39, P-38, sorry, P-38.
Yeah, the lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just show this the stream. I guess.
I think it looks kind of like a P-38 and a A-10 had a love child.
Yeah, basically.
So when you're in these higher security zones, if another player was to attack you, NPC police would basically come for them. So if you want to do some really chill, just mining asteroids in high security where you don't really have to worry about other players and you can just sit there, you can watch some Netflix, and you can just bring in some good money. There's also
Watch
other types
some
of mining.
Netflix. I don't know if that's for me.
Yeah.
That's too passive.
That's an AFK simulator, dude. I do not like that. There's like a bunch of new games that like mobile games, AFK Arena for one, that I think it's called AFK Arena, that I saw that you just like get the game, invest some money basically, and you don't fucking play it. You never play it. And your your like character is gonna progress. Like I don't fucking get it at all.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to look it up and then interrupt you later. I played a game for a long time. It's not on my phone anymore. I was going to try to find it, but it's a mobile game where you terraform Mars and get a population on it and then grow your population. And then once you get to a certain point, you can then unlock other planets within our solar system and start trying to terraform them. So like you can do, I think it was Pluto, the moon, and there might have been another one. And then they have for like, it's cheap, like $4 or $5. You can buy like 32 other planets, like exoplanets or whatever they call them, ones that aren't in our solar system, and you can terraform and put people on them. Well, I got Mars to a point where I didn't have to touch it anymore, and I just let the game go for like 3 months. And I'm like, I wonder what's going to happen when I come back. So I let it go for like 3 months, and I come back to it. I had like 36 trillion people living on Mars. It was, yeah, there was a lot of disease rampant, but there was like 36 million people or trillion living on there. It was crazy.
Yeah, I never got into mobile games, honestly. I don't have a single one on my phone. My girlfriend plays a mobile game that looks like Candy Crush, but it's not Candy Crush. I know that they're like pretty good now. I saw that like there are actually like actual 3D FPSs and all that that are pretty good. But I'm a PC gamer, and like when it comes to AFK games, I just don't get it. It's
no, me neither.
It's like mining crypto, but you get nothing out of it in the end. Like I don't get it.
Like gas mining, which you'll find inside wormhole space.
Oh, they have gas mining too?
Oh,
to scan.
would you look at this? The Venture.
And down.
I didn't know they had gas mining.
Space, you'll find a wormhole. I built a dedicated scanning ship so I could fly around and scan down wormholes, and then I'll go inside a wormhole, which wormholes are completely no security when you're inside of there, so you could be killed by another player at any time. Once you're in there, you can find these
Wait, there's security, so you are protected in some areas.
Gas sites, and then I made this little mining rig that has gas scoops on it, so then you can go inside there and then you can scoop gas. And this is really good money. This is where I've actually been making.
Come over to our place after
also,
Taco
inside
Tuesday.
these wormholes, there are data sites where you can go and hack the data sites, and you can go in there and you can play this mini game where it's kind of like Minesweeper.
Wait, they have
and
data
hack
running?
These little boxes, and then you can get the loot inside of them. It's actually a very difficult Minesweeper Minesweeper. Either that or I'm just really bad at Minesweeper. I'm not really sure. So those are just some of the things that you can find by scanning anomalies and going into wormholes. There's a lot more to it than that. Inside the wormholes, the wormholes can lead you to other parts of space that are on the other side of the galaxy. So you
I'm not sure what
if you wanted to have a shortcut, you know, to the other side of the galaxy, you can use the wormholes.
So there's actual exploration in wormholes. That's pretty
cool. On the other side of space, do business over there. If you needed to drop off cargo or move ships or whatever, it can turn, you know, an hour flight into a 5-minute flight. Also on the left menu here, we have what's called the agency. And this is where you're going to find a lot of things to do if you're a new player. So you'll go in here. There's all of these missions, encounters, exploration. I spent a lot of time in the exploration.
How the fuck do you leave the spaceport?
You can find combat anomalies in here, cosmic signatures. This is what I was just talking about, where you scan things down. Combat anomalies would be where you build yourself a little fighter. You go in and you fight and you loot stuff off of the ships. There's also inside.
It'd be cool if you could leave your ship, but I know
there's a lot of multiplayer
that's not what this game is about.
Actually, there's an FPS game tied to EVE Online.
What, really?
Yeah. Let me just.
I did not know that.
Pause it for a second. I forgot the name, but Vanguard. There we go, Vanguard. I watched it already. So,
ways, such as allowing.
We're not going to watch the whole thing, but it is a FPS, so you can like
scavenge their riches in person. Well,
land on the
planet. Is it connect? Is it interact with Eve though?
From what I remember, and Fate can correct me on this one. I think it is connected in a sense. You go to a planet and you click on it, and then the other game opens up, basically, and then you go FPS on it. But I might be wrong, because it was a long time ago that we talked about it. But yeah, it is there. Anyway, let's
interesting.
Come back to the original
It's
one.
indicated down here by the group activity icon. And you can come
Okay, so there is a way for new players to kind of keep getting their hand held for a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's good.
Battles with
Although I need all of this shit fucking explained, and I'm hoping that Fateless is gonna do that for me. He says it's connected to the universe. I don't really know what that means. Like, is it connected to your character on your ship? That's the question. Like, can you go with your ship to a planet and then click on it and open up the other game so you land there? I mean, it's not gonna be like Star Citizen, but yeah.
Friends and get tons of
loading
loot
screens.
With the
That's fine. I'm fine. Just like closing the game, opening another game, and just having FPS there. If it's gonna be connected to the original game.
And insurgencies. There's also factional warfare. So if you wanted to fight between the different factions, you could fight other players for factional warfare. There's missions here. If you wanted to play solo, you can do storyline missions. There's also a section in here if you wanted to fleet up with other people. People just put in groups. They create groups in here. It looks like a lot of these ones today are mining groups. So if you wanted to feel a little bit safer,
the Russia fan float
in lower security and come in and do some mining with a group of 6 people. There's one with 14 people. And they're in probably a low security space, and I mean there's strength in numbers, I guess. So you go in there and you can mine some good resources with a group.
That's cool. That's really cool.
PvP group. If you want to join that,
Star Citizen can learn a lot from this.
This game also has what they call.
So what I've heard about this game and why I wanna check it out, like go deeper in it, giggity, is because the economy is completely player driven, and apparently there's like lore. Like every game has lore, but the lore in this game is made by the citizens or like the players. So
yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah, I've heard of a situation that like one of the orgs was like hoarding like one of the commodities, like bread or whatever, and they had like 99% of it, and nobody could get that. Like, I think it was like more like flour, or something like an ingredient that you need to craft something or whatever. And there was a whole fucking war with a bunch of factions. There were like enemies before, but they like sided to take down the guys that were just hoarding all the stuff. So I'm into that shit.
All our corporations.
That's what I wanted from Star Citizen, but Star Citizen is never going to have that because Star Citizen is always going to be a 10-to-1 economy, meaning that it's going to be NPC driven, or whatever.
Right, but even if it's NPC driven, like let's just pretend and theorycraft and hopium and all of that. If say distribution centers and space stations could be raidable in the future by pirates, bad guys, terrorists, whatever, and we destroyed large amounts of commodities in that area, wouldn't it still, even if it is AI driven, wouldn't it still take time for the AI to put out missions and things like that to the players to get more of that specific commodity back? So it'll be kinda, but not really.
Yeah, but you're never gonna have like, oh, Stanton doesn't have iron anymore because somebody is locking down the gates and no iron is passing through, right? Or Pyro doesn't have medical supplies, because you're always gonna have medical supplies spawning, in, let's say, Pyro, like in some of the stations or whatever. So that's a bit like unfortunate, because I would like to have to join a party that's gonna, because we don't have a big org, right? But if you join with other small orgs, you're gonna be fucking huge. And if it's like just to take down a bigger org that is hoarding all the shit that you need, that would be amazing, right? Amazing gameplay.
Yeah. Especially if it was somebody like going against, like, say, Test Squadron with their 70,000 players.
Yeah. I think I might be wrong, but one of the streamers, and I'm not sure if it was Montoya. I'm saying Montoya just because of Test Squadron, but one of them said that like once they left the armistice zones, they want to like take over Lorville and just like everybody needs to pay. If you want to land on Lorville, you gotta pay. But that could be fine and fun and all that, sure. But why would we even want to go there if we can buy our shit from another place?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway.
Corporations are essentially a guild that you would find in any other game. And the corporations have their own tax rates, what they tax their members. They have their alliances, wars, if they've ever been.
Oh yeah, by the way, contracts, I've heard that like cargo contracts are also player made. At least like most of them. I don't know. But
that's cool. That's cool.
You can transport shit for other players, and they can disclose what's in the back, like what's in the cargo, what you're carrying, or they may not. I might be wrong on this, and Faithless is gonna correct me. He's gonna call me a clown again. But you can just choose, because you gotta there's like a fee that you gotta pay to transfer, because you're gonna get that money back and then you're gonna get paid when the job is finished. If not, you're gonna lose the money, but you might gain a ton of shit that you wanted, because you can actually pirate it and just like take the cargo and not show up, just use it for yourself. Like open it and just store it on your space station or whatever.
War with other factions. You can fight over different systems, so your corporation can own a system and other corporations can come and try to take that from you, and you would defend that with your corporation. As you can tell, the graphics in this game are insanely good for being 20 years old. I assume they've probably updated the sound and graphics at some point in the past. The sound in this game is amazing.
I'm sure they
Just listen
do.
to this clip of me warping in my hauler.
Dude, it's only on the left channel. What the fuck? My left ear appreciates the warp drive sound.
It does sound good in my left ear.
Yeah.
Nice!
Another thing that you can do as a new player to make some money is there is what is called planetary industry. You would come in and you would scan. What I'm mining for right now is heavy metals. And you set up, like this is a extraction control unit. You put your little mining heads down. I've got my
that's cool.
here. And this will mine all these resources off of this planet surface.
Oh, you're mining off a planet.
And then it will feed them into these industry facilities, which will then convert it to another resource. You'll put them in the storage facility here, and then you can launch it up to space where you can then take your hauler and collect it. And then
that's so badass.
What you're supposed to do after that is you take these tier 1 resources that you got off the planet, and haul them over to another planet where you then build a facility that will then refine all those into better resources. Once you then refine all that stuff into better resources, you can come in here where you can put in blueprints. So I can build these ships once I collect all these resources. So you can essentially mine these on the planets and then refine them.
Real
build
crafting.
these ships, and then you can sell them to other players, or you can use them, or whatever you want to do. I have a bunch of different blueprints that I've found just from doing the Abyss. I've not done a lot of PvP in this game.
Oh
but
my
I
god,
actually
look at
did
the
get
graphics though.
I know, they do look cool.
This
Looks
is
awesome.
amazing.
An achievement the other day for losing 15 ships. So you will get ganked a lot if you're in low security space. If that's something that frustrates you, then maybe it's not the game for you. I find it funny when people gank me because I've been ganking.
You have passive income for Omega. Omega is like the pay version, right? It's not free to play.
Other people on other games for so many years. Yesterday I was in a wormhole and I was just in there scanning for somewhere to then come back and bring my mining ship in and do some mining. And I fly around with this little scanning ship and I scan for places where I can go mine. And I was coming out of the wormhole and I saw one dude sitting there and he launched a warp, what is it called? Like a warp nullifier bubble or something. And I couldn't move, couldn't warp, and then all of a sudden, probably 20 or 30 people that were sitting there. It was a meme group, and they're called Wormhole Police. They all came out of cloak and all started attacking me at the same time. And then they proceeded to, after killing me and killing my pod, they then sent me a criminal citation in the mail, demanding that I pay them 1 billion
That's
credits, which I thought was pretty humorous.
great.
I don't think anybody actually pays them. Unfortunately, I lost the footage for that, but it was pretty funny, and I only lost just a little bit of money. It was really great to see a bunch of people just coming out of cloak and jumping on one person. That might be something that you're interested in, is being a troll.
That's really
It's
cool.
something that I know that I probably do if I can continue to play the game for a while. I wanted to talk a little bit about how the skills work, and that kind of ties into monetization of the game.
I know the
whole
skills
skill
take
system
real time.
is
Yeah.
basically, you can't operate anything in the game without a skill that goes along with it. If you wanted to use light missiles, you would need a skill that goes with it for light missiles. If you wanted to do
I ended up on this screen. I was trying to get out of my fucking space station, so I clicked on something and I ended up on this screen, and I clicked on, I don't know, flight systems or whatever, and it said like 2 days, and I was like, real time? Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's real time.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
You need the skill
It is.
for drones. Your requirements
This is
are
passive.
all of
You don't
these
have to be
different things,
in-game.
right?
Yeah,
you need
yeah.
drone.
It's like the refineries in Star Citizen.
You need mining for it, you need drones one, you need all of this stuff to be able to operate these mining drones. Well, then those all tie to skills that are in here, and all of these skills take time to train. And at first, when you're level 1, they are very quick. This one's 19 minutes. You can see level
What do
2
you mean?
is
I
an
had, like,
hour,
fucking
level 3
2
is 8
days.
hours. It goes all the way up to level 5, which can be like a week worth of training time. And then that's where the monetization comes in, because you can then go to the store and you can buy yourself skill points. And the skill points allow you to advance your training. So if you wanted to buy...
So I'm guessing that like 15 and 25, that's like $25.
You're asking the wrong dude.
It's surely not. Oh,
Hey, clown.
125. So it's hey clown. So
Hey, clown.
It might be like
How much is it?
$2.5.
2.5. Yeah, might be.
You know, 500,000 skill points, you might be able to advance your training on a particular thing by 4 or 5 days. New players, by the way, also get 1 million free skill points, which is really cool, which will advance your
You get
training
1
by about 45
million?
days. So it kind of gives you a good start into the game. I'll leave a link down in the description for how to get million free skill points. So if you do decide to play the game, you can just use my link down in the description, and it will get you 1 million free skill points.
It might get us banned.
Interesting.
Might get you banned again.
It works even if you already have an account created, as long as you haven't used someone
I'll tell the
else's
story to that.
referral link. Back to the monetization, like I said, you can pay to advance all this stuff. My queue of stuff that I need to train is 342 days long. If I wanted to pay, I could shorten that. If you are an Omega member, which is a subscription service that costs $20 a month. All of this is half.
Okay.
Another thing about being an Omega member is
$20 a month, dude. Fucking Netflix costs like $14. $20 is too much. Like, you have games that cost $20. 3 months is a AAA title, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
That's too much. I don't think I'm gonna play this. Knowing that, I'm not sure about this.
inside the
anymore.
ship tree here. You'll see
It is
there's a
cool
lot
and
of
all, but, like,
ships
come on,
that you
dude.
can't actually fly unless you have a subscription. Anything
Wow,
that's
okay.
above all of these little Omega symbols, you can't fly unless you have a Omega subscription. So all of the good ships basically are locked behind Omega. You still can really like try out the game and play it with Alpha without paying, but if you want to get really in depth into some of the end game type stuff, you're gonna need a Omega subscription. All right, another thing about the monetization in this game is you can actually buy in-game currency. This guy here wants to buy the currency that's for like getting skins and for the subscription, and he's gonna pay 2.17 billion ISK, which is interstellar credits. So basically, if you go to the cash shop and you buy
Credits with a
500
K.
Plex, which costs probably $20 or $30, and you can come in here and you can get 2.17 billion, and it's totally allowed. So take that as you will. You can definitely buy. You can't directly buy currency, but they definitely do allow you to buy in-game currency by using cash shop currency. One thing that I did find really cool about the monetization is any of the skins that you really like, you can earn in-game, which is pretty rare for these types of games. You can see that all of these different skins, for
So
the
many
ship, you can buy them with
buttons
in-game
everywhere
currency.
on the
So
screen.
that's really cool. You can get
Yeah.
any of these in-game. Overall, do I think this game is worth the $20 a month? Absolutely. I'm sure I missed a lot of stuff. Like I said, I've only been playing this game for 200 hours. I feel like I've barely
I've
scratched
only
the
been
surface.
playing this
I
game
look forward
for
to playing this
200
game
hours,
a lot more. Maybe
out of which I have opened 2 skill trees. That's it.
I'll do another review after 1,000 hours or something. If that's something that you guys are interested in, make sure you get
get on it,
subscribed to
bro.
the channel. I appreciate
play 8 hours
all
a
of
day.
you watching. Do me a favor, leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and we
All right,
will see you
here's the
in
video.
next video.
I don't think I will be playing this because of the monetization.
Yeah. So
Faithless says that you can get Omega in the game somehow.
Yeah. So I played this game approximately 14, 15 years ago, maybe even a little bit longer. And you keep hearing Grumpy reference that I got banned. So I didn't do anything
Oh, be right back.
in the game. Okay. I didn't do anything in the game to outright like that was trolly or griefery or anything like that. I went on eBay, like I had been playing it for a while and I was a solo player. I didn't know anybody, none of my friends played, and I went on eBay and bought tons of stuff on eBay and had like the biggest ship and all the skill things and everything else that you needed to fly said ship, and I researched it all, did it all, and then started flying around and blowing other people's stuff up, and it was fun while it lasted. And apparently they did not like that, and I got removed from the game.
I
And that's
didn't
my
hear
story.
any of it, but so you were scamming people and you were ganking people. You were a griefer.
Yes, I was being a
okay.
big time griefer. Yeah. I mean, typical Scarred stuff.
Cards,
You know.
as for confirmed. Right, you wanna end it here, or you wanna watch this one? It's up to you.
We're gonna have to end it here. I gotta take care of a couple of things, but
Alright.
I'll be back later at the computer.
Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. Again, this was a stream that we made for our friend Starr Streams. He is in dire need for some like help and donations, and you can donate by clicking on the link in the description of this stream or by clicking on the link in that's like in the pinned comment. So please do, instead of buying ships, krakens and shit, give it to a human that really needs it right now. And yeah, that's all. Scarred, you want to say something?
Thanks for being here, and thanks for helping out Starr if you can. It would be amazing. He's a really great guy, and you know, he just needs a little bit of help right now. So if you can help him out, that would be great.
All right, thank you guys for watching. 07. Don't forget to bring us on when you're trolling through space, and your catchphrase is
so long, and thanks for all the fish.